All right, guys, what's up? Talkin Brash, episode 34, I believe. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Did you miss me on Monday? I'm sorry. If you didn't know there was no show on Monday, we have a new schedule. Wednesdays and Saturdays only. We've done away with Blackout Friday because, well, we've been getting too blacked out on Fridays. Um, so yeah, Wednesday from now on at this time every Wednesday, and then Saturday will be 3 p.m. Eastern. And this coming Saturday, I got Mike Tipping from the Sluts. So long until the seance. Next Saturday, I got Chris Lanterns from Led by Lanterns. So I'm pretty stoked about that. What's up, Curtis? What up, everybody? Check out the Patreon. I dropped the MP3 off now, so you can download that song. You know the drill. Don't fucking share it, or share it. I guess it doesn't matter since I'm not with that guy anymore. You know, that's the only way people are gonna get that song. What's up, Richard? Dicko North? Mark? What's going on, guys? So, back before I was living in the lap of luxury on these fancy tours where we're staying at Marriott's, I would we were booking a tour for Darrow. And I guess we'll tell the story here, but I forget exactly how. Maybe he hit me up. You're like, yo, I do runs of shows with bands who come over here, and whatever the case, I hooked up a bunch of shows with Carlos, and ever since then, we would stay at his house and we use his house as a satellite. We just play a bunch of shows in SoCal and go back to Carlos's house. And that was one of the major reasons Darrow was even able to tour out in California. Otherwise, we would have never made it. So here he is, everybody. Hold on, I'm gonna ask him to unmute. My good friend, Carlos.
What's up, Loki? How you doing?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Hanging in there. Just living in this crazy world.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? With you along with everybody else, we don't know what to do with ourselves.
So I mean, if you want to jump right into that story, get it out of the way.
I was trying to remember exactly how that all came about. Did I reach out to you?
The story happened? This was MySpace days, and right. You and JV had said you guys were gonna do some California dates, Darrow Chemical Company, and I believe Summer's End. I could be wrong.
Right.
And so I hit you guys up on MySpace because I didn't have phone numbers or anything at that time. This is Ben, by the way. You know Ben. I hit you up at that time and said, hey, if you guys want to do some shows, my son, who sits here next to me, his band plays a shit ton of shows here in Southern California, and we'd go good together. So let's do it. And time went on, and time went on, and time went on, and neither you nor JV ever read the messages. And I said, man, fuck this band. So, but realistically, the person who got us all together was, of course, Tony Ciancola. Who right. we lovingly refer to as the Wizard of Rock and Roll over here. Tony
he really is. His knowledge of underground music is.
He'll tell you things about you don't know.
Right.
So that tour happened for you guys, and I didn't go to the show. It was an odd night, I remember, like an off night, a weeknight or something. Right. And I guess whoever booked the show for you guys, 10 people showed up. And Tony was one of them because Tony's at every show, and I guess he had told you next time get a hold of this guy in this band, and so next time you guys came through.
This was at the CIA. I remember
that was at the CIA, yeah. And then I remember him telling me a couple days later, I said, hey, how'd the show go? He said, well, Loki came out and said, is it too late to call Carlos right now? Like at the show. And so the next time you guys came through, we were now in the period of Facebook, and I guess messages are easier to read on Facebook, I'm going to guess. And when that happened, we got in touch, and you guys seem like good guys, and we took the leap together, and now we can't seem to shake each other after all these years.
Yeah.
But those shows that we ended up doing with Darrow, we ended up doing 6 shows. I think it was a total of 6 shows over two different tours.
Right.
And I would say that those shows were all well to very well attended.
Yeah.
And the people that showed up were very, very excited to see you guys. And we always had a blast with you guys. And like you were saying earlier, we would all jump in either the van or the car, and we'd go get goddamn JV his stupid In-N-Out burger, which I still hate. Everybody can hate me for that. I don't care. And then we'd come back here and hang out and smoke cigarettes, drink beer, and play acoustic guitar all night.
Yeah, those shows had that more of a family feel to it. I mean, they were well attended and awesome shows, but like just I don't know, a lot more camaraderie than.
Yeah, and we were not a pat on our back, but we kind of knew bands that we felt you guys would enjoy playing with, whether it was Order of the Fly or Murderland or White Coffin or
right.
you know, all these bands that were still to be quite realistic, the Southern California horror scene was kind of dying at that time. Right. And you guys coming out those 2 years in a row extended it for 2 years. And that you know, that was always really cool for us. There, you know.
Yeah. I remember being like playing with Order to Fly back in the Gotham Road days. So that was our first, you know, getting back together with those guys since that time. Like that was like 2004, 2003. And yeah, going back there, and then we played that space he had. What was that space called?
Mad Science Studio.
Yeah,
Mad Science Studio.
Yeah.
And apparently,
so much happened that night.
Apparently, that was one of the last shows they had at Mad Science.
Yes. Now, so much happened that night. If you remember, there was people were accosted, and people were there was violence, and none of it had anything to do with the bands.
Right.
Yeah, it was a real interesting show. We those shows were. It was a family thing, and when I think back about those shows, and I'm going to say names here, and probably people are going to get upset, but you know, from that night at Mad Science, and was that the night that the sink broke?
Yep.
Yeah. So someone, and nobody still knows how, someone broke the sink in their bathroom,
right.
like off the wall. Maybe Dewey Cox was there. I don't know. And then also, like. And not to bring it down, but you know, the very first show we played with you guys was at a place called Aladdin Jr. in Pomona. It was a pretty well attended show. There was about 8 bands on it. And that was the night we all got back and found out that a very dear friend of ours had taken her own life.
Yeah.
And then was it that night or was it the following night that
I think it might have been the next night because
that your brother got in an accident,
right? Because I forget where we were playing the next day, but I guess we had decided that we were going to crash at Tony's house.
Yes, that's right. It was funny because when I thought
that was the Costa Mesa show, right? Wasn't that the one that Brett Ryan did?
No, that was the second time.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, the first time was Cobalt. Was the third show.
Mad Science.
The first show was Mad Science.
First one was Aladdin Jr.
Oh yeah, that was after Mad Science, maybe then.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's out by Tony.
Because it was out by Tony, so it made sense.
Yeah. So yeah, we decided to stay out there, and the in the morning I got a text from my cousin, and it was so vague, and I like, man, couldn't you just prep me a little better? But it was just like, your brother's been in an accident and you need to come home, was the text.
Oh.
That's it. And then I'm like, what does that mean? Okay, so I start calling her and I can't get in touch with her. And I'm trying to call my brother. Obviously, nothing. So, and like an hour goes by where I'm just like, I have no information, just this message that my brother's been in an accident and I should come home. And finally she gets in touch with me and tells me the story. But like, yeah, Tony and Catherine really had to fucking sit there and fucking see all that unfold, man. It was that was like a surreal moment. And then yeah, fucking we'd go back to your place, and then that you know, what was her name? Was it
Ashley?
Ashley? Yeah.
And what was really rough was, you know, I mean, we don't have a mansion, but we got a considerable size house for the people that were staying. But with us being here and a couple of people wanted to stay because they were such big fans of you guys, and then you guys were here, and I felt bad because it was like Carlos has nowhere to go. He's just got to sit there and smile to everybody while this is kicking his ass. So we tried to keep everybody away from you, but at the same time tried to keep you laughing. And I think Sarah made you sing Skid Row songs to her like 18 times in a row.
Right.
And and yeah, I mean, it was a rough time, and it could have really been where at the end of that we all said, "It's nice seeing you guys. You guys are super bad luck. Fuck off." But we took it as there was a reason why we were all together for this, and it bound us all together. I mean, I still talk to Doug, who's no longer in the band. I still talk to him from time to time, and there's a couple of other people that have been in Darrow in and out, and we still talk with them. And I mean, not constantly, but from time to time. And you guys have always remained some of our favorite people. So
there's still an indent in the couch in our back room where Joe slept because he would just never out.
Because he slept for 36 hours straight.
Right. Wasn't Dean fucking living in your fucking driveway for a year?
Oh yeah.
It'd be great
if we could say there's still an indent in the driveway. Where Dean slept.
Damn.
But yeah, no, Dean came back out and asked if he could crash for a while, and he did. And I mean, when he was here, he was fine.
Yeah, he was trying to just get his footing over there.
Yeah, and he got the thing with Nita, and that worked out. I don't know if he's still doing that, but that worked out super well for him.
Yeah.
And then I think it threw him onto some other tours as a tech and things along that.
Yeah.
Well, the first tour he came out here with you guys, he was just your tech.
Right. Yeah, it was that tour because I actually remember, like, once I made the decision. If you remember, I was trying to figure out, how am I getting home? What the fuck am I going to do right now? How do I get home? And Joe, who says he doesn't sleep, slept for like 85 hours straight.
Yes.
Right, and then he swore that he wasn't sleeping and didn't sleep, and then was wondering why he didn't know what was happening.
He slept through Dean and Mikey like verbally abusing each other right next to him too.
Right. So like I make my plans and figure out what I'm gonna do. Right, I'm going fucking. There's cheap flights from Phoenix. We're gonna go there. I do my whole thing. He wakes up and is like completely confused and mad that I didn't tell him what I was doing. I'm like, yo, you were sleeping the whole time, bro.
We weren't even keeping it down. He's sleeping 4 feet from all of us. And everybody's everybody's. I remember Sarah, and I cannot remember, she can probably type in and say who was in the back room with her at the time. They were on the phone finding out about Ashley, and there's Joe asleep right next to him, and they're crying. Might have been Tori. They're crying and they're screaming and oh my god, no, and there's Joe.
Joe's just face down in the crack of the couch.
Yeah, he might have been dead for all we know. He was dead.
Well, yeah. I remember nudging Ben and go, quick, learn all the songs.
Right.
But no, then I mean, we just adventures with you guys.
I've lived in California my whole life, and I think it's finally at like 16 years of age, you guys finally took me to Venice Beach because my parents hate Venice, so they never took me.
I don't hate Venice. Shocked. I just hate the beach. I'm Mexican.
Shocked they let you come with us.
Oh, you want to hear a funny story about that?
We're gonna take your kid.
That was the second tour because Brianne was there, and Brianne said, "Ben's going to the beach with the Darrow guys tomorrow. Can I go?" So I ran it by Brian Kellner because he was managing the tour. And Brian said,
was that the first one?
No, the second one. Because the first one Dean was on, the second one
that's right.
Yeah. Kellner was on. So Brian said, we'll take Ben, but we're not going to take Brianne. And I said, oh, okay. Is she bugging you guys? And he said, no. But a bunch of us riding around with a 14-year-old girl, no thanks. Right. So I was like, all right, Ben, go ahead. That was when I first realized, oh, they're into girls. Go ahead, Ben. You're good.
Right.
But no, they just no, you guys were great. You guys have you know, I'm a person who decided early on that my sons, Ben, Chris, and Stefan, were going to be in the music industry, and I didn't necessarily have to like your music. Luckily for you guys, I've liked pretty much everything you've been in. But there's bands that I still like and support to this day because they were good to my boys.
Right.
You know, and you guys, whether it was with Darrow, whether it was later on with Michael, whoever it was with, you guys always took him, made him feel like part of the group, put him to work, made him sell shirts, snuck him into places.
We did put him to work. You remember when I would come over and like he wouldn't clean and
he still don't.
You remember that?
Still don't. Shit. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Grandma saying, I really like those guys. They made Ben get to work.
Right. Like, let's go. Let's not fucking
just fire his ass up on the roof and get him to clean those rain gutters.
We don't treat our family like this. Get up, do those dishes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, man, you guys, we always had a blast with you guys, and there was always some sort of issue every time you guys came.
The second time. I remember the second times when you and Joe had the conference call.
Oh, that's right,
Michael.
This is like his favorite story in the world.
Right. Was there an issue the second time? I don't remember.
No. The issue I'm thinking of was the time you guys came with Michael. We did we did that show locally, and then and then you guys said we're going to come.
Desert?
No. Oh. Did a local show, and then you guys said we're going to come spend the night, and then the next day we go to Vegas. But the night of the show, you guys decided we want an extra night in Vegas, so we're going to go. And then you woke up in the morning and everything was gone.
The trailer was gone.
Damn.
And so you guys came back because the following night was the Whiskey with Michael, Wednesday 13, us, and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah.
And it was Halloween night. And
remember Joe played a fucking BC Rich Warlock bass for like two songs. I was like, hell no,
dude, being on stage at the Whiskey that night was just like, because I'm playing. Someone was nice enough to lend me their guitar.
Yeah, you guys had to borrow everything.
It was our guitar players, an ESP Eclipse.
It was just not. You're used to this. My guitars are an extension of my hands. Like I'm just. And man, I was just having a miserable time up there.
Yeah, I mean it's your tools. Using someone else's tools is never the same. Just real quick, Loki said that this is episode 34.
Right.
Oh, dude, for the greatest hockey player in the National League right now.
Austin Matthews, baby. Austin Matthews. I couldn't say anything till he got here.
I don't know, man. Maple Leaf, the Maple Leaf world isn't exactly thrilled with Austin Matthews and
Tavares.
I'm hearing that Austin Matthews may go somewhere else.
No.
I don't know. I think William Nylander.
You just want him to come to the Rangers.
No. We're good, man. We're building a culture.
That's what teams always say. We're Clippers fans too. We've always said that. We're building a culture. Might be the losing culture, but we're building a fucking culture.
No, we're on the right path. We just
how much did it hurt to see Henrik Lundqvist go?
It hurt a lot, man. Yeah. Like that guy, he's been our goalie since the lockout. Like once the lockout was done, like he's been our guy.
Yeah.
That's a long time, man.
It's one of those tough things that you see him go, but it's his time to go.
Yeah.
If they stick with him, then they're not moving forward. But
yeah. Like actually, I called this like 3 or 4 years ago. Once I saw what Shesterkin was doing over in Russia and in the Olympics and like the World Juniors and shit like that, I'm like, when this guy's ready and he comes to the NHL, Lundqvist is gone. And sure as shit. That guy Shesterkin, it's his time now. You know what I mean? So
hopefully, I mean, me, I always hope everybody in the original 6, with the exception of the Habs and the Bruins, do something.
The Bruins are just
fuck the Bruins.
I don't know who can root for the Bruins.
I'll tell you. I know one person who roots for the Bruins. Mark
Poland.
Mark Poland. Goddamn.
Right. I guess he has no choice. He lives up there.
He lives there. That's why. We still keep in touch with them.
Still not a reason.
Still keep in touch with them when we play the Patriots and we play the Red Sox but
See, a lot of Bruin fans, like they're like Eagle fans, like Philadelphia Eagle fans. They're like oblivious to the fact that their team are a bunch of assholes.
Yeah,
like they think they're the good guys, right?
Well, you want to know why? Because
the Bruins are a bunch of dickheads, man.
Outside of Mark Poland, every Bruin fan is an asshole, so it's just like all the same cut. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're rooting for yourself. You know how they say, marry a girl like your mom? Well, root for a team that's like you.
Right.
So that's why but I don't know what that says about me and Ben. A couple of Mexicans from Southern California rooting for a Canadian team. But no, we just yeah. But back, I mean, it's fun. And that was one thing Ben always enjoyed when you were coming around. He's like, I get to play Loki at NHL insert year here.
Yeah.
And you'd always fucking end up disappointed.
Yep.
He would talk more shit than anybody I knew and lose every time. And you would always beat him.
Okay. Didn't I make a miraculous comeback?
Yes, you would always beat him at the last second. And you guys would start playing. No one would care. By the end of the game, everybody is around.
Look at that cover athlete right there. That's all I gotta say.
You know what endears us to Matthews even more? I'll tell you, because a lot of people don't know this. Matthews is half Mexican. His mom is from Mexico.
Latino.
Yeah. So, I mean, with a name like Austin, how can he not be?
AUSTON.
But, I mean, I was always a fan of Scott Gomez from the Devils and people like that. Because, there's not that many Mexicans in the NHL. So
even though he was like born in Alaska.
Actually, Scott Gomez was born in Southern California.
Was he?
Yeah, he was born in Southern California.
I guess he was raised and did a lot of his youth hockey playing in Alaska.
Yeah, his dad got a job on the pipeline and they moved up there. But he was born in Southern California. There ain't no Mexicans in Alaska. Why don't you move there, man? Come on. Oh man. So
are you guys Mexican or like other forms of Latino?
No, we're Mexican. Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
My both my grandfather, one of my grandfathers is from Mexico. Their other grandparents were born in the United States. But my grandmother that was married to that grandfather's from Texas. And then my mom's side's all from LA. They are all the Cheech Marin born in East LA's. That's why they're all Dodger fans. But these two knuckleheads aren't, because if we were, they would have never won a championship.
Right. Dude, what a year for LA sports, huh? You got the Dodgers and the Lakers.
Well,
it only cost Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
Had the Rays won, then Tampa Bay would have had the Lightning and the Rays. So either way they were going to get, and if you think about it, the Heat was in the final. So I mean, the state of Florida
and California
was doing pretty damn well, but Florida always the bridesmaid.
Right. Damn.
Better them than us.
Yep. So I want to go back actually to the beginning when Ben was figuring out that he wanted to do music. I don't know how any of that really started. So maybe you could guide us through the beginning of the Scurvy Kids and like.
Do it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a great friend, Arturo Vega. I know you know who that is.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, he's a guy. He Rick said, when are we going to eat some candy?
Because that picture. So
this is for you, Rick.
It's gonna be loud.
Can you pose? Can you pose? There it is.
Yeah, Rick's the one that put that picture of me on.
Yeah.
But to him, I say, God damn you, Rick. No, it was great. So what happened was I was friends with Arturo for years. He was family. The kids called him Uncle Artie. He was family. And he for those who don't know, Arturo Vega was basically the fifth member of the Ramones. He was at every show but two. The two shows he wasn't at, he was in jail covering for Dee Dee.
Why did you have a relationship with Arturo Vega?
Just through being a Ramones fan. You know me.
I'm a Ramones fan too, but I'm not friends with Arturo Vega.
Well,
in a way you are.
Yeah, 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
If you think about it, 6 degrees of separation, your old boss used to play for Markey, so there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
No, just, through the years, became friends. Seeing the Ramones year after year. I'm lucky enough to have seen them, and they were it was kind of like all of us. You got to see the same people every year at the shows. You got to know other fans. And Arturo was always out and around in the crowd, and you could talk to him, and he was just a great guy. Arturo was the one who started the Johnny Ramone movie nights at the cemetery out here, the cemetery we took you to, Hollywood Forever, where Johnny's statue is and Dee Dee is. And he would call us and say, are you guys going to come, to the show? Because we were part of his LA family. And so we would go and hang out with him, help him set up, do all this. I think it was the second time he did it. He called me the night before and he said, I got a problem. I said, okay, well, what is it? He said, everybody I hired to work the show can't do it. I said, all right, well, how many people you need? He said, as many as you can bring. Well, you know me, I got all these sons. I got, friends and stuff like that. And we all went out there and we worked that day for Arturo, then sold shirts. Me and Stefan and Chris put out the Traveling Ramones Museum. So we got to mess around with Johnny's Maserati's and MTV Video Awards and Joey's pants and just nonsense, but it was great. So one of the things I wanted to do for him was I wanted to make a shirt that instead of saying Ramon said Anguianos, and it had my son's names on it. So I did the artwork, printed it up, and I sent him one back east because he lived in New York in his loft. And he got it and he loved it. Well, when I made some for the boys, me, Sarah, and we would wear them, and people would ask the boys all the time, what is that? And they would tell them it's our band. So nobody could say the last name.
Anguiano.
Yeah. So Sarah broke her leg at one point, and the kids were telling her that when she got her cast off, it was that bugs were going to crawl out, rats were going to crawl out, and that she had scurvy on her legs. So she started calling the kids her Scurvy Kids, and that's how the nickname caught.
Right.
So I made a shirt that said Scurvy Kids, and it had the band members' names in it, which at the time was my 4 sons. And we would go to shows and they would wear them. And people the musicians we knew would say, I want a shirt, and they would wear them on stage. So finally, one of our friends, his name's Chris Wickman, he told the kids, he said, I know you guys are full of shit. I know you guys don't even know how to play a damn song. And if you don't learn your instruments, I'm going to expose you to everybody. So they did. And it went from there. And the very first show they ever played, they didn't have a guitar player. So they asked Chris to come play guitar for them. And so he came, they played 5 or 6 songs, and they opened for an all-female Ramones tribute band.
Original drummer.
Yeah, Ben. The very first show, Ben played drums. Chris sang.
You played drums, huh?
Yep.
The drums were bigger than him.
Yep.
Well, you got that.
It looked like the Chud drum set. The bass drums like 6 feet tall.
Right.
And they played like 5 or 6 songs, and people liked them, and they decided they were going to keep going, and we made some changes. Chris went to guitar, Ben went to sing.
Yeah. And
you got that drummer syndrome. Fucking had to jump out into the front.
My brother Chris, the original singer, had such stage fright that he looked straight down at the floor when we played our first show.
Well, Joe does that, doesn't he?
For a different reason.
So he decided I'll play guitar, which I was like, well, people look at the guitar player and the singer the most, out of everybody.
Right.
But I mean, he stuck a guitar. He was fine with that. My brother Stefan was like, I want to do the bare minimum, so I'll play bass. They were like, hey, let's just throw this little kid up there and have him sing with his, prepubescent voice.
Right.
And we had Dad play drums because we were like, oh, you're the strongest guy we know, man. You could play fast.
I could play fast. I just couldn't play good.
Right.
So that was the band for 4 years.
Yeah.
How old were you when this was happening?
I started at 8 years old.
Damn.
And then I was still 8 years old. We only played one show like that. And then from 8 to 21, I've been playing.
And our first big show
Was it the Knitting Factory?
It's at the Knitting Factory, and it was I believe Murderland's first show in L.A. or one of.
Oh, really?
No. I take that back. It was somebody's first show in L.A., but Murderland was on it. Order of the Fly was on it.
Resurrex was on it.
Resurrex and Calabrese
Stellar
were the
Corpses.
headliners. It was a big horror punk festival. There was probably like
Nightmare Syndrome.
there was probably like 20 bands on 2 stages, and we got 15 minutes when the doors opened.
Right.
But to get into the venue, you had to walk by our stage. And so they waited till at least 3/4 of the people were in there, and it was packed. And it's just a little tiny kid with a long ass devil lock,
Right.
black makeup under his eyes, skeleton gloves, just tearing it up and just singing all these songs and singing in guttural voice and stuff like that. And it just made people stop and go, what the fuck is this? And
Right.
then we became a real t-shirt selling machine.
Were you doing gutturals at 9?
Oh yeah.
Yes. From the very first show, one of the covers they would always do a Casualties cover. We would always do a Casualties cover.
Right on.
And yeah, and he just kept going and going and going, and he got people in the band and people out of the band and in the band and out of the band and in the band and out of the band.
When was it like, all right, Dad, you got to go? Like, what was that moment?
No, so what happened was
right after the first show I played.
I think at the time I was 11 or 12, and my brother is 5 years older than me, so he's either 16 or 17. We got into a fist fight on stage.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. To the point,
yeah.
the curtains open, and it's just me and him throwing blows on at CIA actually, which is funny.
Damn.
And then he goes, "I fucking quit." I go, "I fucking quit." And then Stefan goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. We started
playing.
And so we had one more show after that. Me and him like, all right, we're getting through the show, and then fuck you, we're done. Like, so Christian,
what was the problem? Why couldn't you get along?
we're brothers. I don't know. It's just we're kids, man.
I'll tell you the issue. I'm going to interrupt you for a minute because this was the biggest issue within the band at that time. Stefan was a showman. Stefan looked amazing on stage, but he would not practice. So his bass lines was very much like he was taught in the School of Rock. G, 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 G. But he looked great. When he was
players like that.
Oh yeah. When he was done playing, he would take his bass off, drop it on the stage, walk off the stage, and we would all have to clean up his gear. He didn't do shit.
Damn, yes. Oh, so he wasn't pulling his weight. All right, no. I got you.
Okay, so that was Stefan.
But we love
Chris. Chris, very technical, was always trying, always practicing, always learning. He was writing. He was doing everything. Ben is that kid that doesn't do shit. He doesn't practice.
I was fucking 8 years old.
He was like 10 years old. Doesn't do anything. He just walks on stage and kills it.
Right. Gotcha.
So him and Chris had a very big problem.
It's hard being the talent, right?
And then there was me, drummer / roadie / driver / money collector.
/ dad.
Which every song,
idiot.
Every song, even if there was a fill, it just sounded like Dave Lombardo hitting a ride and a snare.
That was it.
Every song was 200 beats per minute, just fucking going crazy.
Stefan used to kill that.
Yes,
the Blitzkid cover.
So we covered Nosferatu.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I don't know these words. Like I looked at the words, like I can't pronounce half of them because I'm in 4th fucking grade. So he goes, all right, well, there's 3 notes on the bass. So I was like, okay. So I played bass for the song,
which was 2 more notes than he usually played.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Stefan's like, I'll sing it. So we switched for that one song. And then once we realized like that wasted time just switching for one song,
you started doing more.
We did 2 songs, and we did
what was the other
God
song?
of Thunder by Kiss.
Yeah, we would do a fast version of God of Thunder.
So everyone would sit there, and I started playing the fucking doom doom doo doo.
Whose idea was the Kiss song?
I'll give you one guess. They told me you can't have any of the t-shirt money, but you can have a cover. I was like the Richie Ramone of the Scurvy Kids.
At least you picked one of the few decent Kiss songs there were.
So yeah, that was it. We had the same set for a while. We'd always change songs in and out. So we played this last show, and it was a Cancer Sucks benefit at Aladdin Juniors. And played it. Me and my brother give each other one final "I love you, but fuck you. I'm never playing music with you again."
Right.
And that show, this band called Blackheart was playing. Who's like this? It was 4 girls or 5 girls.
5 girls.
All like younger like me. And I was like, "Yo, the bass player is like really good in this band." And I go to school with her, so I'm gonna ask her, "Hey, you want to join the band?" And it was Nicole, who's still around to this day. And then because I at this point we were playing with this band called Demonia, who was like a Danzig-esque band. Okay. And the guitar player Daryl ran like a House of Rock, and he was just like, "Hey man, like, can you join this just to like show these guys like, hey, this is how you perform on stage?" Because these guys can all nail the songs, but they stand perfectly still and stare at their guitars. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go miss half the notes and jump around with the bass in my hand." Go, "Oh, sure, why not?" So the drummer from the band I was put in ended up coming with us too. His name was Evan.
And Eric.
And then Eric was in the older band. He was the cool kid. He was the 18-year-old, and we're all 14, 15.
Right.
And so that was the band for a while. Evan kind of phased out of it, and we got this kid named Jacob. And then we got a second guitar player because we're like, let's get crazy with it. And we get a second guitar player named Loudon.
Ben completely just went right over Brett Ryan. Brett Ryan was never in the band. He just went right over him. Doesn't want to admit.
After Evan was Brett.
Yeah. I remember fucking Brett.
Yeah, he's like, he'll pay you guys great. And you got like a 12-pack of Budweiser that night, I think. Oh,
what show is that? What was that?
That was Nothing But a Nightmare. It was a little stupid.
Right, Nothing But a. That's right.
That year. Brett was so trying hard to book shows that he. When I contacted you guys,
I remember being in the alley.
Yes, yep. We hung out in the alley the whole time. Like Guitar World was in an alley.
Yeah, and like just like pondering what to do. I'm like,
oh yeah, you were pissed. Because of my love for Brett, I mean Brett's all right, but Brett screws up and you love it. It's just part of his thing. Right. So Brett screwed up. So of course me and I don't remember who it was. Mainly me. Was just in your ear, like just egging it on, making you more angry.
Yeah.
Let's see how far we can push Loki so he'll F5 Brett on the concrete.
Because like, at that time, the CIA happened, that's happening. And then like, we got Dead and Wasted with us, which is, they're dysfunctional as it is. And I'm thinking like, we still got to make it to like, Northern California, we gotta make it to Seattle and then find a way to wherever the fuck else we're going. So I got all this in my head, and then you're just egging it on. Like,
I gotta have some fun. Gotta have some fun, man.
You just gotta book the shows with me. None of this shit will happen.
Yeah. And I remember going, where do you think he is? You think he's out just getting beer for himself? You think he's eating with your money?
Right.
Isn't he supposed to be paying you right now? Why would that guy leave without paying you? What's he doing? Oh, it was great. And it was like you were like a thermometer, like the red was just going up your face.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember playing CIA, and there was for some reason I had to find Joe, and I couldn't find him. And I walked between our van and your van door opens up really quick. It just kind of opens up and a hand reaches out and grabs me and pulls me into the van. And I'm sitting in there and it's Dean and Joe laying down in the van. I go, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I love her to death, but they were like, we're just getting away from Tori. Tori, I love you. You're my sister. You know that story. But we had great times with you guys, man. You guys are one of the bands we miss the most having out here, and good times.
When did you start getting into the whiskey? Like, were you always just like in with the whiskey? How did that start happening?
We played there in 2014.
Yeah, Calabrese played. They headlined there.
Yeah, and
we had hit them up. We had hit up the whiskey about doing some punk shows, and they were the Whiskey had prior punk shows that they had the Casualties and somebody else.
So no, okay, I'll tell the story. So in 2010,
oh damn, okay,
2010, the owner booked the show because he's really into like hardcore and stuff.
right.
So he booked Terror and the Casualties together, and there was a full-fledged riot. The two front
tore
doors
the place apart.
Completely got shattered. One of the security guys got his jaw broken. Gnarly fucking night. So for that, after a while, they're like, no punk shows, no hardcore shows. We're gonna stick with like the classic rock that everyone fucking loves you.
So we used to bring them punk rock shows, send them emails, and hey, we can bring you some punk rock bands. You know, it's relatively inexpensive compared to what you're paying, like, you know, Leif Garrett or Warrant. And you know, it was like they would, no, we're okay. So then out of nowhere, Calabrese gets booked there. And so we saw that as our, let's put our, we knew the Calabrese boys for years, played a bunch of shows with them, you know, and so we said, that'll get our foot in there. So we booked that show, and the place liked us. They liked, you know, we're always, if they give us 15 minutes to get on and off stage, we're on and off in 5.
Right.
You know, we're professional, and a lot of people would see these little kids and they're busting their ass and I'm cracking the whip, and they liked it. So they gave us another show there. They booked Dwayne Peters from US Bombs. And we sorry, put these down.
I'll be back in just a little bit.
Yep.
So we booked with Dwayne Peters, and we did that show, and it wasn't very well attended, but it went really well for us, and they just liked us. So we started getting in there. Me being the kind of person that always tries to take care of my home, so to speak. If I was at the Whiskey and a fight broke out, I would help the security guards break it up and help them throw guys out. I was blessed with enough size to be able to do that. So after a while, they just, you know, they loved having us there. And we just became family to the point that eventually they were having a big night one night. It was Phil Anselmo. And they asked me if I wanted to come do security. And I just started working there and worked there for about 3 years.
Right on.
Yeah. And then Ben got in. At the day Ben turned 18, he got in.
Right back.
Yeah, like all you guys were doing it. Like Mustafa was there.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Whiskey. Oh. Yeah, Mustafa. I had asked. It was funny. I had asked the manager there. I said, okay. I asked the manager there. I said, hey, I'm going to.
It's at 45 grand.
Yeah. He's giving me notes. I had asked the manager. I said, hey, are you looking to hire anybody? Because I got this buddy of mine. I'll vouch for him. He's a tough kid. He grew up in these scenes. So there was a lot of security guards there that had been a security guard at a supermarket or something like that. And they couldn't see when shit was going to go off ahead of time, right? Because they had no experience in it. And then you had a group of us that grew up in the punk rock scene, that grew up in the heavy metal scene, so on and so forth. And so you can look at a crowd and say,
yeah, you can kind of anticipate.
I can see it brewing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Mustafa was one of those guys. So that, you know, he worked out really well there. And of course he has the size. He's a big kid. He's usually pretty level headed. So he worked out pretty good. And then, like, you know, next thing you know, we're all there, you know, and it was pretty good, you know. And then I became the doorman, and I was there, and now I'm just too old to do that shit anymore.
Right. Whiskey became a home away from home for a time, man.
Well, you know,
we were there every year.
The thing about the Whiskey is that a lot of bands in the position that Michael was in is they'll book the Whiskey because it's their guaranteed payday. Those guys aren't going to run. If they tell you they're going to give you X amount of dollars, they're not going to run out on it. They're not going to tell you, sorry, the bar didn't do well. They're going to give you what they tell you. So a lot of people book the Whiskey and then book the rest of the tour around it.
Yep.
And, you know, and Michael always did great there, man. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what happens the next time he performs there.
Man, it's tough. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It's a tough situation.
I'll let you steer this conversation from here.
It's tough. It's tough for me to talk about it because, like, there are people who are still fans of them, and like I try not to bash them too hard because no one wants to see just public arguing, right? Like, it's just a bummer for the fans. Plus, it's not their problem anyway. It's my problem. So
yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I didn't, a lot of people, and I know it's the same thing for you. When all this shit went down, everybody wants to ding your private message and say, what happened? What happened? What happened? And they're asking me, and I said, dude, I'm on the other side of the country. I don't know what happened. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you. But the people I did talk to, I told them all the same thing. I said, everybody's got their issues. Everybody's got their politics. Everybody's got this. Everybody's got that. I know the guy who stayed with us with you guys. I know the guy who stayed with us by himself.
Right.
I know the guy who was awesome to my kid. I know the guy who was awesome to my family. For that, I'll always be a friend of the guy. I can't agree with his politics, but we talked about that before. And that's all. That's realistically all I got to say about that.
Yeah, a lot of people they're misconstrued about my reasoning, but
I agree with you.
It's way more personal, and there's so many things that go into it than just he believes in he's got his own politics and that's my problem. It's way deeper than that. We had a lot of ties business wise together, and he kind of flushed it all down the toilet for a while. And man, we rely on each other. Where imagine if it was me doing all that stuff and I took the money and food away from his kids.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna be in the band?
Yeah. No, I mean,
what I'm saying? I could be his best friend in the world, but if I was the one to put his way of life in harm's way, that I probably he would have kicked me out fucking that, man. So I guess it's the same way for me. I expect you represent me, I represent you, and not only that, but everyone the fuck else that we work with. And it's just more complicated than his politics. That's an easy way out. It's a fucking excuse,
I'm just interested to see how this all works out in the end, if it even does.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish no ill will on most.
Yeah, me neither, man. Yeah, I just
I don't want to say everyone.
I try to find my best foot forward. You know what I mean? And I sit here and work on that, because it's easy to fucking feel sorry for yourself, but not me, man. I got ways to fucking just keep moving forward to something else.
Some things are hard for me to fathom. I know a lot of people who still are I don't want to say our age because I'm a lot older than you, but older guys,
you look fantastic.
Sure. By the way, this is not my bedroom. This is Ben's bedroom. So if you're looking around going, grow the fuck up, this is Ben. Mine looks worse than this. No, but yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about brighter times.
Well, let's talk about your relationship with some of the bigger bands that you've played, because fucking you got your kids playing on the stage, and Jerry comes by and you have this great relationship with the Misfits. How did that start? What kind of doors did that open up for you and for everybody else, and for Ben too?
The Jerry thing came about because ever since Ben was little, his favorite band was the Misfits. It's been the only favorite band he's ever had, even as a child. We laugh. Sarah and I laugh because we would be in the car and the kids were young, and we'd be singing "Where Eagles Dare," screaming at the top of our lungs with our children. We raised our children in a way a lot of people don't understand. I have family members that don't understand the way I raised my kids, but I have the most well-adjusted kids. You know that. You've met them. My kids have never been in jail. They've never gotten a fucking ticket. You know what I mean? Right. They all work. They're all, hardworking, good men. In fact, if, 3 of the 5 are college graduates, but they were raised in clubs. They were raised in music. They were raised on stage. So Ben, got a heavy dose of the Misfits from day one, and he became a huge Misfits fan. And we took him to see the Misfits every year when they would come through with Jerry and Dez and Robo. And, he wasn't old enough to have seen the Michael version of it and all that. So as years would go on, we would see him. And one year and all the time I would have him on my shoulders, and so he would sing. We'd be up in front. He'd be looking at Jerry, singing back at him and everything. And one year, Jerry stopped right before the encore, and he reached out. And he said, "What's your name?" And Ben said, "I'm Ben." And he said, "All right." And he said, "This next one's for Ben. This is Green Hell." They played it. Crowd went nuts. I had to stand there and deal with the crowd with the kid on my shoulder, but
Right.
that's punk rock. So after the show, we went backstage. They met, and Ben and Jerry immediately liked each other. Next time they came through, Ben got asked to sing with Jerry on stage, and Ben went up. He was 9. No, he was younger he was probably about 8 or 9. And he sang Skulls on stage at the Key Club in West Hollywood. And, Jerry, we would go see him, and we'd always end up back with Jerry backstage in his trailer, something like that. And he would talk to Ben and say, "How's your grades? Are you listening to mom and dad? Are you eating your vegetables? Are you saying your prayers? Hulkamania." And, Ben was always doing good. So he would bring Ben stuff. He would give him school supplies. There were, Ben's the kid at school with the Misfits notebooks and pencils and, all that shit. And it just kept growing over time. And we had spoken to him about Ben's band opening up for him. And what he asked us to do was to shoot 2 songs live and send them to him, so he could take it to his management company, who in the time since we now know and have befriended, Chuck over at Worldwide, who Ben's pretty good friends with. And hey, send me these videos and I'll get you guys on the show. As the time was getting close to that, my mom got sick and my mom passed away. Ben was like devastated. Whole family was devastated. We go and we see them the very next time, and we're hanging out with Jerry during the show, and he said, "You never sent me the video." And I said, "We had it ready, but I told him what happened." And he got a little choked up. He hugged Ben, he hugged me. He said, "Here's my phone number, man. You ever need anything, you just give me a call."
Right.
So we exchanged phone numbers, and when Ben graduated from high school, Jerry messaged him, "Good job." When Ben graduated from culinary school, "Good job." And all that. It just, the friendship grew and grew and grew to the point that Ben went to Madison Square Garden for the reunion tour. I couldn't go, but Ben and Mustafa went. Ben, Mustafa, and I went to Chicago for the reunion tour. And, it was pretty much buy a plane ticket and they'll take care of, we were in and whatnot. So, it's always been a very good relationship. They're very nice people. They're very good to their fans. And I really think that Ben being around Jerry taught Ben how to act towards the people that liked his band. And he was always very giving of the people that come to see him. He gives them merch, and he, you guys do the same thing, to kind of a thank you for taking an hour out of your time to drive and come see me.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to do it, And I always said Jerry's the best, and just don't do business with him. But realistically, that's Gene Simmons. Realistically, that's Glenn Danzig, and then in the time at the Whiskey, Glenn's come in a bunch of times. And so when we were in Chicago, Glenn's guys came up to us and said, Glenn wants to go thank Jerry for the show. And we were kind of like, really? Yeah, it's the first time he did it, which was Chicago, the old Rosemont Horizon.
Right.
So they asked Ben and I and Mustafa if we would walk Glenn into Jerry's room. So we said, hey, fuck yeah, absolutely. So we walked him over there, and we got to see them have a moment, so you get to witness a lot of cool shit as well. You know? It's fun,
Fucking A. How was your experience when the original lineup came back together?
Well, we went to Denver to see show 1.
Right.
And it was funny. A lot of us made the trip. Garrett, Garrett. Right. Tony and Kathy, a bunch of us all got together and made the trip to Denver. Some of us drove, some of us flew. When we all went down there, only a very few of us stayed on the ground. Everybody else kind of went to the back.
Right.
And so when the Misfits came on, Ben and I were kind of right in the middle where the pit would break out. And we basically said, when the pit breaks out, go through it and go up to the front. They're going to open up a big hole. Let's walk right through it and get closer to the stage. They come out. I think they open with Death Comes Ripping. If I'm wrong, somebody message me. So we
trust me, people will fact check.
Oh yeah. I was just reading with some people are watching. Anyways, so we went to so Death Comes Ripping comes on. As soon as the song's over, half the crowd on the floor just rushes to the back because I don't think they understood that these old guys were still going to command this much violence.
Right.
It's a pretty violent pit. If it's your first, good luck. You know, it's a Danzig pit. It's a tough guy pit. Let me go in there and show you how hard I can hit everybody because I'm a meathead.
Right.
You know those Jersey guys.
Damn, you went there. I wasn't going to go there.
But so we just moved up. It was great. What was great about it was standing there with Ben, who got to see the highlight of his life.
Right.
Though this will draw the attention of some people. Ben has always gone on record as to say he saw that reunion. The Michael reunion would be on par with it to him because that's the era of his life that he grew up with. The Danzig era, my life, Sarah's life, the Michael era, Ben's life.
There's a lot of people like that. Like their first introduction to the Misfits was Michael.
Yeah, it was dig up her bones.
Yeah, and then a lot of them went backwards after that, and found them. But old guys like you, it's not so much.
Remember being a young Elvis Presley. I mean, I was lucky, I mean, I saw a lot of bands growing up. Like I said, I got to see the Ramones. I got to see the Sex Pistols. I got to see the Buzzcocks, and I got to see the Damned, and a lot of really great bands that. Thank you, my wife, Old Man River. She wrote on the comments.
Right? Yeah.
You married him.
You married him
with his loose skin and old balls. I got to see a lot. I got to see a lot of great bands, and one of the bands I never got to see growing up was the Misfits with the original thing. I mean, it was kind of if you knew, you knew, and if you didn't, back then shows weren't like they are now, where it's on social media and right. For 6 months going in. I remember being in. I thought you had money, she said. Damn. My wife. It wasn't like that. It was a lot of word of mouth. It was a lot of they could be playing at a club, a bigger club, the Whiskey or a place like that, and you didn't even know. Back in the day, I remember the Whiskey just you would have to get the LA Weekly, and there was a very small coming soon, and they had half the bands that were playing there.
Right.
And if you didn't call up every night, you didn't know. And I wasn't the guy who called up every night. But I did get to see, a lot of good stuff. So I can't complain. And it was kind of like I told my sons, I want when they're old and they're sitting on their porch talking to their great grandkids, and their great grandkids said, tell me about what you did when you were a kid. I want their stories to just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And on. And they really do. They really do already for their age.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you started them early. I wish if I had something like that in my life, because most of my childhood was people trying to tell me not to do this.
You're absolutely right. There's no money in this, and the funny thing is, one, they're right.
Right.
Because who would have seen records go by the wayside? And, you know, you just saw that thing that the Blitz Kid guys posted. They, you know, 2 million downloads of their songs, and they made a whopping $16,000 or something for a lifetime of work. There is no money in it, but it's what we're built to do. It's our love and it's our passion. And I'm a shitty musician, so I found out a way to do it, to be around the industry in other ways, whether it be driving now. I've been driving some bands and, you know, stuff like that, or working at a club and, you know, managing whatnot.
It's good for Benny too, like just to have like support and nurture and try to steer you in the right direction instead of just fucking flying blind by yourself and making all the mistakes, you know?
You know, it's fun. You know, it's a funny story, and I know I got a million stories, but that's why you asked me to be on the show.
Right.
It's a funny story. The Scurvy Kids has been a lot of kids in and out of the band, and I've had quite a few of those kids, because I always care about them more than just as a band member. I tell them to do their schoolwork, and I make sure they're on the right track, because, you know, you don't want idiots in your band. We've all had them. Right. But I've had kids look at me and go, you know, I wish you and Sarah were my parents. And I would say, no, you don't.
Don't say that.
I'll tell you why. See that iPhone in your hand? You wouldn't have that. See those expensive shoes? You wouldn't have them. Oh, you know the car that your car parked in front? You wouldn't have all that. You wouldn't have any of that. You would be eating macaroni and cheese and playing in clubs 3 nights a week. So a lot of kids, you know, say to themselves, oh, it'd be cool to be in a band, but you have to realize you're in a band. Get used to eating ramen.
Right. Grass is always greener.
Oh, yeah. That truck stop bathrooms stink, man. Nobody wants that shit. Everybody wants to sit on their comfortable toilet seat.
Yeah.
But, you know, what are you going to do? But you're right. Grass is always greener.
There's good ways around the shitty stuff now. Like back then, if I knew, I could just go to Planet Fitness
and shower.
You know, like just have a $20 a month thing for Planet Fitness and go work out, take a shower, fucking you
take a shit in the stall that was, you know, clean. Yeah, you know, and if you're lucky enough, you get people that's house you can do your laundry at, and you know, stuff like that. It's really, you know, right before COVID hit, we got chased by COVID. Ben and I, Scurvy Kids went up north and played all the way up through. We did Northern California, Oregon, Seattle, Tacoma, Boise, and I, being who I am, was the guy who slept in the van every night. I was the dean.
Oh yeah, you were the guy. You were the security system.
I was a security system, and sleeping in those vans, man, it's like you gotta really love baby wipes, man. And being in you know, in Idaho in February.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
You're just shitting ice cubes. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
You learn to avoid things as you keep touring. Like, don't go to Idaho in February.
But you know, you gotta do one of those. If you're really a musician, you gotta do it.
Well, that's how you learn not to do it.
Yes. You know, because you drive a long way to play for those 6 people.
You're being called out right now. So Sarah's saying you've never eaten ramen in your life because she's a good cook.
Yeah. Shit ramen. What's the pronunciation of that right there? Is that pshit? Ramen.
Ramen, yeah. How dare you?
And then Kathy said she would also give someone else's left nut to see Mike Hideous. Any volunteers?
Yeah. You never got to see Mike Hideous ever?
I personally, he didn't do LA. Mike Hideous did South America. I think that was it. Did he do any back east states?
I don't think so. I think it was
because if you remember, Graves left.
But you never got to see Mike Hideous perform in any capacity.
No capacity. No, none whatsoever. But Tony can act it out for me because he's seen it.
And someone saying the Danzig Graves split. Let me tell you how hard I tried to get this to happen. I actually got in contact with Crazy Craig to try to get this to happen. And all I wanted was just like an opportunity for Michael to speak to Danzig and just tell him how much he appreciates the opportunity and just thank him for his career, because without Danzig that wouldn't have been possible, right? So like we just wanted the opportunity for that conversation to happen, whether it be through a DM, or text message, or face to face. We wanted that to happen so bad, and I tried so fucking hard, dude. Nothing. So if it didn't happen then, it sure as shit ain't gonna happen now.
I tried to get. This would have been 2 years ago, Halloween. Ben and I tried to get the Whiskey to do Michael on Friday, Doyle on Saturday, and Bobby Steele on Sunday. I figured people would fly in for something like that, to see the three of them in a row.
Yeah.
We
tried supposed to do something. Maybe this is what you're about to talk about. It was like supposed to be a Doyle Graves.
Yeah, and then the Whiskey had said, wouldn't they play the same night? And I said, you don't know them that well.
We would have.
You would have. And when all this was going on, Michael was here. It was an acoustic tour. He was here at the house. I was on the phone with him. We were trying to make this happen. Michael didn't even have Doyle's phone number. I reached out to a member of Doyle's camp trying to get, not even to ask for Doyle's number, but to say, if I send you Michael's number, will you give it to him? Now, whether he calls or not, whatever, but we reached out from our side. And, or I should say our side, because you're a part of that side too. And the people in his camp that I spoke to were very, they were very
just Bruce
hesitant. No, not Bruce. No, not Bruce. I don't know. I know Bruce through business, and that's it. I wouldn't claim we had a friendship.
Gotcha.
But the people that I reached out to were almost sounded like they were kind of, I don't even know Doyle like that to offer that to him. So I backed off. Doyle, worked with him a bunch of times. Super great guy. He's one of my favorite people. He's never been anything but a gentleman to me and Ben, and funny, quiet until he says something funny,
Right.
So this has nothing to do with him, but that was what it was supposed to have been. We had even talked to Michael about, possibly, because Michael had said, we'll do a co-headlining 2 nights with him. And Michael had even said, and we'll go on first. There's no egos here. We'll play first. Yeah. Doyle plays second. And I think the idea was hoping that at some point at the end of the night, a song or two were done.
Get together.
Yeah, so kind of like together. Doyle did with Glenn. And no, that was immediately shot down, and shot down very badly. And in fact, I think you guys played 2 nights in a row, if I remember right.
Well, they were supposed to play one night. We were supposed to play another night.
Right, they were consecutive nights. Because I even announced it.
Yeah, I guess Doyle got the offer to open for Gwar.
Yes.
So he canceled his own. He canceled his own tour in order to do the Gwar tour. And
the Whiskey ended up giving you guys the second night.
So they're like, "Do you want to play both nights?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, we do. Let's go!" And we played back-to-back nights. We did a Gotham Road fucking set
That's right.
night.
That's right. You guys did. Yeah, there was two different set lists.
2 different set lists. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were great. Those were fun. I don't get me wrong. I mean, I like to see Michael sit up there and tell a story and play a song behind it is pretty interesting and can be fun. But seeing him up there jumping around with a full band, and a full band that really just rips into it, was always even more of a good time. And knowing that he was hurting up there doing it, but knowing that those whiskey nights, there was a little more fuel in the tank because of where he was, and the crowd was always super receptive. He's always got a great turnout. And and it's funny, I used to get in arguments with my coworkers there because they would want you guys to hurry up after the show, and I'd be like, you don't know who he is. I'll take care of it. And it would be like yelling down from the second level, there's 5 people left, and there's like 35 people left,
Right.
Just trying to get them to shut the fuck up down there so he can do what he does, because that's part of his thing.
I remember doing like a pre-production before the show, like, all right, at the end of the show, we need a divider here so people can come in, people can come out, and this will fucking help smooth out the process, because those shows were packed, man.
Yeah, they were great, and everybody stopped and went up to meet him, and you guys as well, And then when you guys, so Mike and Ghouls did a tour together, right? Am I right, or was that separate tour you were on?
We were.
Oh, that was Ghouls and Nim Vind.
Yeah, it was Michael Goolsby, Nim Vind, Course of Empire tour. Yeah,
that was a good one too. That might have been one of my, because that was a funny thing. I had known Nim Vind, Chris, right? I think his name's Chris. Yeah, Chris. Okay. I had known him since the MySpace days and never once met him. I met him that tour. That was the first time I met him. And he turned out to be a really nice guy too. A good musician, great sound. And of course, Ghouls is always Ghouls. He's great.
Yeah, the concept behind all that is just, that was me trying to elevate everyone. Like, Nim Vind couldn't do a tour by himself in the US, and Goolsby, he could do regional stuff. He could go out to the West Coast and then come back, but like to fill in the whole US like that, it was impossible for him at that time. So I'm like, let's fucking get these guys on here. The stronger that they are, the stronger we'll be as a team. So like, all I wanted to do was just bring my friends up, and do this together and fucking try to strengthen everyone. So
yeah, and those were great. And I was really hoping that this would all just continue and be a thing that went on a yearly basis. And it just, we all know the rest of the story. 2020, we'll say.
2020, yeah. I mean, we were supposed to go to Europe with Nim Vind. Like, they were part of our tour package again, so it was gonna continue to fucking be rocking out there. So, but 2020, it's been
2020. We'll just
been one for the record books, man.
Oh,
like, what the fuck, bro?
You just talk about a big shit of a year.
Yeah,
2020. I was just, thinking the other day, I was like, it's November 3rd. We got to vote today. It was like, wasn't it just July? It really seemed. And then today you message me and say, oh, here's what is set up for tonight. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's the 4th.
That's right.
Smart guy me. Yesterday was the 3rd. What's today? The 12th? Right. I don't know what's going on.
It's been a time warp, 2020, man.
It really has.
It's felt like a few different years.
It's felt, yeah.
Like March and April were its own year, and then May through like August were like a separate year, and the fall now is just, goddamn.
That's like when Jerry. That's like when Jerry Seinfeld.
As it goes longer.
Oh shit!
Fucking.
That's like when Jerry Seinfeld's trying to tell Elaine when they're in Florida how they're going to be home in 2 days. He's like, Monday through Tuesday. That's just like one day. And Wednesday we're already almost home. So, but yeah, no, it's been rough. There's been a lot of bands that have gone along the wayside. I have a lot of right before COVID, I did a gig driving for Mr. Bungle, and they played 3 nights at the Fonda. Then they played 2 nights up in San Francisco, and then they went to New York. Those were the only shows they did.
Right.
and those shows were insane. It was Mr. Bungle with Scott Ian on guitar, and Dave Lombardo on drums.
Yep.
And with bands opening like Possessed and the Melvins, and I mean, just great bands, and it was just like the full package. And I was hoping that would get followed up with something bigger that I could drive for, then bullshit hit.
Yeah, it would have happened because they just released that EP, the Halloween EP, and then they did that live stream that I did not get to see.
I didn't get to see it either. The live stream thing, I really have tried to support my friends and tried to, if it means kicking down $10, I mean, it's $10, it's helping them. In this entire time of COVID, I probably watched 4.
Yeah. Who were the ones that you watched?
I watched LA Guns. Because I have formed great friendships with people in that band. And that was the first one that came on that I said, I know these guys, I'm going to kick down the $10 and watch LA Guns.
Who is in LA Guns right now?
Well, Tracy, who's
right.
Here, I'll really start the bullshit here. So, everybody wants to say that Eddie Van Halen was the greatest guitarist to come out of the Sunset Strip. I beg to differ. Tracy is my guy. Okay. So I'm a little bit older. I remember, Tracy. So he's in the band. Phil Lewis, original singers in the band. Then you have Johnny Martin, who has played with Frankie and the Studs and played with Steven Adler and played with a bunch. He's playing bass, and great guy, great friend, awesome guy, great bass player. Ace Von Johnson, right? Ace Von Johnson has been in he's been in a million bands. He's kind of like a Sunset Strip guy,
right?
Who's just like he's in every band. But he's found a home with LA Guns. And then right before COVID, they changed their drummer, and his name is Scott, I believe, and I can't remember his last name. I'd feel bad. But great band. I watched the Dickies live stream because they're family.
Right.
I watched the TSOL live stream.
Oh, damn, I didn't know they had a live stream.
Yeah. In fact, TSOL and the Dickies was I want to say the one show I went to this year. It was January 4th. It was 2 days after my birthday, and they played together, and I went, and it was great. And I thought, this is going to be
concert.
This is going to be a good year.
Right. Was that your last concert?
I think it's the last concert I went to that I was excited to go to. I tend to go to shows,
right?
Things like that, but I think it was the last concert that I was really like.
That you were pumped for.
Yeah, I was pumped for it. Yeah.
What was the last concert you have gone to, which may be the last concert you'll ever see?
Who knows, man?
What was it? What was the actual last concert?
I saw someone at the Whiskey, but I don't remember who. Is that bad?
Right.
I know I saw Black Flag, but I don't remember if that was the end of last year or the beginning of this year. But the one that was memorable was that TSOL was celebrating their 40th anniversary. They played for like over 2 hours. It was just a fist fight waiting to happen. It was great. It was in Orange County, so you had a lot of the baldies there, we'll say.
Right. Damn.
the turbo ACs.
Yeah. I've been doing shows for a long time, and like that shit used to be more prevalent back in like 2003, 4, 5, and for a long time that shit kind of disappeared from our shows. Like I had not seen that for a long fucking time. Like it's not been something that we've had to worry about. Is that like back?
It never left Orange County.
Gotcha.
And the thing about Orange County is that you get a mix of privileged white kids and the very disenfranchised Hispanic kids who live in neighborhoods their parents can't afford. So you get a lot of those long-haired Mexican kids fighting, like I said, the turbo ACs.
Right.
And It usually depends on the turbo's numbers if they're going to start some shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They need the backup, eh?
Yeah. You got two guys. They're not gonna do anything. Tony Ace Von Johnson is no longer in Faster Pussycat.
Damn.
And Richard North says it's shot time.
Shot time. Yeah, he's always trying to do shots, bro.
We'll do this one. Let's see what we got here.
I have a sober November going.
Should we do the proper 12?
The proper 12, yeah.
Okay.
The Conor McGregor Irish whiskey.
God damn it, Ben. Clean your fucking shot glasses, man. Look at that thing.
What is that?
I think it grew a worm in it. This one's even worse. That's my boy right there. Look, he's either going to do the Raiders or a SpongeBob SquarePants.
Right.
Well, since I am a diehard Raider fan, I'll die with them. So let's go.
Let's go.
Come on now. Don't tease me. Get in there. All right. What Richard, what are you drinking, man?
What is Richard Dicko North drinking? It's unpredictable. Loki, uncool Rick.
What happened? What's uncool Rick?
I think he calls Rick Carrillo uncool Rick now.
Okay. Okay. So he's asking around. What's everybody drinking? Sarah said gross, and I don't know if it's gross, and I'm drinking the Conor McGregor whiskey, or that I'm drinking out of Ben's shitty ass. But yeah, we're reading guest the comments, of yours that can actually see the comments. Hey.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who'd bother to not see the comments. There it goes. Shots away. Shots fired. Dicko North.
Dicko North. Thank you, man. That was good.
He's our Canadian friend from Alberta.
Who's he rooting for?
I don't know. Are you an Oilers fan? No. Well, he's originally from the East, so I think he's Dicko North. Who's your hockey team?
He's from Florida, so he's going to say the Florida. I'm sorry. He's from Alberta, so he's going to say the Florida Panthers. That's the way it works here. He's going to say the Arizona Coyote, is it Arizona Coyotes?
Yeah, it's Arizona
Coyotes.
Now. He's drinking Tully.
Nice. Yeah. All right, that sounds good. Why most people don't look at the comments?
Because so most people are doing this from their phone, and they don't have a laptop or another thing to watch the comments, so they're just seeing this fucking backstage screen and then none of the comments.
Yeah, I have so right here in front of me, what I'm looking at is a giant screen,
right,
with just Loki's big ass head on it.
Damn.
Then over here, I've got another screen that's got the camera on it, which is here. And then a screen that has all the settings for the audio. I can see the little things going. And then
he's a Leafs fan.
Richard Dicko, man, why are we not friends, dude? Why are we not friends? As soon as this is over, I'm gonna friend request you, man, and then we can double team fucking Loki and his stupid Rangers.
Don't say that, because he'll call you after the show. He's the guy after the show he'll he Facebook calls people and does more shots with them.
Richard, me and Ben, my son, and I are the two we are the Southern California Mexican Maple Leafs contingency, man.
Why?
We live in that. Okay, so here's the story. Okay, I don't think I've ever told you the story.
Is this why are you a Toronto Maple Leafs fan?
Okay. So, and it's funny because this has to do with music, so it's perfect. As a kid, I'm young, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Being a lifelong big time Kiss fan, I used to watch Don Kirshner's rock concert and the Midnight Special, which predate MTV and everything else that goes along with it as being the place to see music. One night I'm watching and the band Triumph is on. Rick Emmett, Triumph, and the bass player, who's still in the band. It's the bass player and Rick are still original members of Triumph, still in it. Is wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey on stage.
Right.
And living in LA, the Kings were reduced to a small box score in the back of the sports. There was no, they didn't give a shit. So I saw the jersey and I was interested, and I knew it was hockey. And I went to my version of Wikipedia, the internet, AKA my parents' Encyclopedia Britannicas. And there was a story about the NHL and the original six. And I started reading about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And when I was around 11 or 12, I used to get the Sporting News, which had a big section about the Leafs in it. And I just grew up liking guys like Doug Gilmour, Wendell Clark, up into the, Felix Potvin, to the Cujo years, Matt Sundin, Darcy Tucker. Right. And my all-time favorite hockey player of all time is Ty Domi, the ultimate goon. So I just,
I can get down with that. He's a Ranger.
He was a Ranger too. Ben likes to play these games where he says, if you had to buy a hockey jersey of every single team, what player would you get? And Ty allows me to get 2 or 3 teams. So I always said if I got a Ranger jersey, it would be a Ty Domi jersey. But she said, "Dad, your setup is almost as crazy as I was at Tony and Kathy's the night before Halloween for a really nice barbecue. And Kathy has rearranged their living room because don't forget she's a teacher and she's got to do the school from home. Oh, and she has got one of those screen, camera, microphone."
Your volume went away. What happened? All of a sudden, you got muted. We need our production. Where's our producer? Yeah. This is what happens when Benny goes away. See this? And you start talking about his setup, and just like clockwork, his shit goes down. Catherine, you jinxed us. What are you gonna show him, Dicko North? You're gonna show him some Maple Leaf stuff? I feel bad for you teachers too, Catherine. Like, how do you hold? I guess it depends on how old the kids are that you're teaching. Just because you could barely keep the attention of kids face to face. I can only imagine what it's like if they're fucking on the computer. Yeah, he's gonna go get Ben. And yeah, I guess also non-sexual stuff. I guess also my YouTube feed's not working. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. I just went on the dashboard over on YouTube because this is supposed to go everywhere. I don't know why the fuck.
Can you hear me?
I hear it now.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
If you have the there's a switch.
It's a switch right there. Okay,
turn
perfect.
Off and back on.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to sit here. I'll sit here.
Yeah, I'm making chicken tenders, by the
way. Yeah, homemade chicken tenders. Almost done. That's what happens when you have a chef for a son.
Oh yeah.
Okay, how about if I sit here, and then this way I'm not hitting my knee against anything. Okay, and this way you get a better look. Where were we at? Oh, I was asking, do you just call him Dicko? Is that
Dicko's?
I don't need to go with the whole Richard North thing, do I?
That's the proper nomenclature, is Dicko.
Okay. 8th grade. Attention span of a gnat, says Kathy.
Yeah, because I was saying, like, I really feel sorry for teachers, especially depending on the age of the student, because you could barely keep the little fucker's attention when you're in person.
Well, Kathy tells us the horror stories of these kids that are like, she says, hey, little Loki, straighten up. And the kid looks at her and goes, fuck you. And she can't do anything. And it's like, I just want to.
Right.
I could never be a teacher. My My idea when I was a kid was I was going to be an art teacher / baseball coach. That's what I thought I would be when I got older. And after I saw the way I taught, I treated teachers, I was like, fuck no, I would kill myself.
Fucking this is a question for Kathy. What would you do if they were in person? Maybe you shouldn't answer this. I don't know.
No. They tell her that in person. They tell her that to her face.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, she'll tell me that they, you know, let me move this mic so it's not right in my face. They tell her that right to her face. You know,
damn.
Fuck you, lady. And Tony will post it sometimes on his. Tony will post sometimes on his Facebook that he helps her grade papers. And he'll get these papers from kids that just dicks drawn all over them, or they'll say, you know, Mrs. Brown has big tits. You know, they write it right on the paper, like they don't even give a shit. I'm thinking, dude, we were never. See, she says they do it all the time.
Tony, do you grade the dick drawings? Do you grade the dick drawing? Like, this is a poorly drawn dick. You have an F now.
Add some veins, motherfucker.
Right.
Haven't heard from Tony in a minute, so let's see what he's doing. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they threaten to hit me sometimes, she says.
Dude, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, Kathy. Kathy is oh, there he is. And they put their names on the papers, he says. Kathy is.
You got to come strapped to school, man.
Yeah. Kathy is, if not the most intelligent person I've ever met, she's at least one of them. She is brilliant. And these kids could learn so much from her if they just shut the fuck up and listened.
Right.
But, you know, there's our future drug dealers and prostitutes of the world, you know?
Damn, man. That's fucked.
Yeah. But she's, you know, they're lucky to have her and they don't realize it because she is a very smart person. And I'm a lucky person to know her. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Look at, I'm like, go ahead. I throw guys around the mosh pit for fun.
Damn.
Oh man. But yeah, now, you know, and that was what I was going to say. If Tony and Kathy are the best people in the world, and you know, because you've stayed with them and you've been around them a lot. And Tony blows me away, man. I can say anybody. Give him a hard one, like Steve Zing, you know, and he'll tell you every record he was ever on. You know, he's been on a lot of them, you know, so it's not like it's just one record, you know.
What the fuck are you talking about, Dicko?
Maybe he took 2 shots.
Right. What tough guy? And who were you arguing with before? It looked like you were arguing to yourself.
He had some other guy's name on there, Cecilio or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Carrillo, Rick Carrillo.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe maybe that's who he's arguing with.
They're beefing. They got inner beef.
Is this like a instead of West Coast, East Coast? It's like a Canada, America thing.
Yeah, this might be like, this is like Talkin Brash beef. Where my audience doesn't get along with each other. So
they just fight entirely through your show.
Yeah, it's great. Rick has probably moved on because he got the new version of Photoshop. So right now he's working on fiber projects.
So he falls deep in it.
Yeah.
I know that struggle.
Damn.
Oh man, but now you know. Yeah, man. I mean, what else? What else we got? We got a lot, you know.
What happens now with, obviously, so Ben's able to work, but what happens now with, are you guys doing music, or are you guys fucking, just everything's on the back burner? What's happening over there?
Well, Ben has not stopped working through the entire pandemic.
Right.
He graduated culinary school, and he was chefing at this steakhouse, this kind of high-end steakhouse, and as of this week, he started working at another place that makes a little bit more than just the steak place kind of had a one-dimensional menu.
It's just and steak after steak after steak.
Steak, chicken, and beans.
Right.
And this other place is got a bigger menu, and they kind of took him from the steak place with the idea that he could, this restaurant wants to open up a few more restaurants, and kind of lured him in with the idea that he could possibly head chef at one of them. So he's doing that good. The whole thing with the band, we went up north, tour got cut in half. Not due to the virus, due to band members who wanted to tour but had no idea how to and could not take it and could not, ran out of money after 2 days, or didn't want to sleep in someone's house because they thought they were above it. A lot of shit like that.
They got to start a tour school.
Yeah, might have done everything else. Might as well. They played the
shit that the School of Rock won't teach you.
Well, when Ben said earlier about that guy asking him to join the School of Rock, that was the main reason. He wanted Ben to come out there and show them, these are the things you need to do to be on stage. These are the things you need to do to talk to someone who appreciates your music,
Right.
We did an interview up in Tacoma, and it was like pulling teeth with everybody other than Ben and Nicole.
Oh, right. The other guys were just
yes,
like vanilla answers.
Or would look to Ben and Nicole when, and Ben and Nicole have been doing it long enough. They have that personality for it. They ended up playing most of the shows as a 3-piece with Ben playing guitar and singing. And the record label guy, because they got signed up to a Seattle label, the record label guy took me aside and said, they're better as a 3-piece than they are as a 5-piece. There was issue, like I said, with the third member of the band as far as what your duties are as a touring person. Do you remember?
Right.
Do you remember our good buddy who we speak about not having food because he spent all his money on cigarettes and Tori having to buy him food? It was one of those situations, and we weren't even starting, and it was already out of money. And it's like, you need to call someone and get some. And he wouldn't do it. And I said, you're lucky you're young, because most, if not 95% of bands, you'd be standing on the side of the road in Seattle. They would have left you, if you couldn't do your part. There is an 8-song EP that's kind of in the can. I'm going to talk to the label guy and see what we can do with it. I think after 13, 14 years of doing it, Ben has gotten to the point where it's hard for him to rely on others, and he needed to step away from it.
Right.
I'm going to see what the record can do. And if the record can generate some interest, then maybe we'll put a 3-piece together and jump on a tour. A good friend of ours.
The older you get, the harder it is to find people who are dedicated to that sort of thing, because it's fucking hard, man. And like you said, there's when you're starting off, there's no money in it, and it takes a certain kind of person to rough it out like that. Not everyone wants to do that, can do that, and they have a warped sense of what a tour is going to look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once they get out there, they can't handle it.
I mean, what do you mean everybody farts in the van? That's gross. Well, you know what? Imagine your brothers and sisters at their worst, times it by 10, and that's what the fucking road is like.
Yeah, and being in enclosed spaces all the time, you have to see them. You can't just walk into your room, close the door, and then you're away from them.
Right. And if you're going to argue, which you are, you got to learn how to either shut the fuck up and just mind your business away from them on the other side of the van, 4 feet away, or you have to shake it out and you move forward. But once you hit that stage, that shit's all got to stay in the van, because this is work. This is business. This isn't, playing in a high school band, playing covers of Smoke on the Water anymore, you know? And so that's, Ben gets it. Nicole gets it. But we found very few others that are their age that get it. So, if it comes down to Ben and I went to go see Black Flag, and we saw them a couple times, and they took an opening act on their entire tour. They played the Roxy to a packed room. It was a great show. They played a bigger room in Pasadena over by us that was maybe a third full, but it's a big room. Their booking agent was there, and Ben knows him. He's the guy that booked the Misfits and everybody. Right. And he told Ben, he said, I don't know why they took this band on the road. And Ben said, why do you say that? And he said, it should be you guys up there. And so I told Ben, you don't work your whole career to get the record label, to get the possible big tour, and to get all that just to quit. So if you want to step back and see how you feel later, we'll do that. And it came at the perfect time.
It came at the perfect time because ain't nobody doing a goddamn thing right now.
Yes, exactly. I mean, a lot of bands are trying. I see a lot of people doing these, 2 or 3 different members of 2 or 3 different bands playing songs together. And that's great. But you think there's no money in playing live. There's less money in doing that other shit.
Right.
So look at Kathy challenging Dicko to a fight. Somebody wants tough guy. Come on.
Damn.
Look at, oh my God, Carl, she's such a grandpa. Deep Purple.
Deep
really?
Purple. Yeah.
Well, Kathy knows because Kathy is my one peer in this group. We're of the same age group.
You can't be calling her out.
I'm calling her out because Kathy's the only other person that I can talk about Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. And she goes, oh yeah, I saw them. Kathy will tell you, I saw Black Oak, Arkansas. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even ever saw them.
But yet didn't see Mike Hideous.
No, I there was a big discussion here. Even everybody was in it that nobody saw Mike Hideous because I think he was only. Oh, but you're talking about Hideous Empire or Empire
and
Hideous.
Yeah.
You got to remember, dude, we never saw Chud. You know why we never saw Chud? Because Chud never plays anywhere but New Jersey. The same thing as Mike Hideous, okay? I should be lucky I got to see Robbie Bloodshed.
Right, damn.
And it's funny because that was we did some shows with Robbie when he came out. And and that was the thing. Robbie was the Ben of back east. He was the little kid jamming with bands and and so we always heard of this Robbie Bloodshed kid. And he finally came out. Him and Ben hung out for a while, and they formed a friendship. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, now Robbie's, he's like Freddie Mercury Jr.
He's like Guido Mercury, I want to say.
Right. Yeah,
I hope he's listening. I wouldn't talk shit behind his back. I'd say this to his face.
I say it to him all the time.
Robbie is the most horror punk guy in a fur coat with no shirt on it that I've ever seen.
He's too good. He's too good looking for horror punk. You know what I mean? You're too good looking for this style of music.
Who's not good looking that fits in the horror punk? Who's in that list?
Me.
Other than me and you.
Fucking but yeah, Robbie's got he's got the button down shirt unbuttoned to to his chest, like poking out the 3 hairs that he has on his chest. Maybe
does he go home at night and go?
His hair is just
trying to get him to grow.
Right.
To me, it's like if instead of Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta would have made a punk rock movie. You know what I mean? Like
right. That's exactly that.
I love that kid though. I love that kid, man. He's a good kid. He's another one that was from the MySpace era that I never met. I spoke to him online, never met him, and then he came out and look at Tony. I saw Chud. Of course you did, Tony.
I think Robbie actually agreed to come on here at some point. Let me see. Let's check the calendar. I forget who I've agreed to fucking have shows with, but I
thought you were hitting the bottom of the barrel if you called me. I thought you were like, I've run out of musicians. No, I need a guy who I can bag on his hockey team.
Bro, I'll never run out of people to talk to.
I talked to a good friend of mine who owns a record shop here, and we actually talked about possibly doing something like this. And just because he is very much the 80s, Morrissey, the Smiths, the Cure. He's been hung out with all those guys. He's like that version of me from that music. And I go to his record store, which is here in Covina, called Chaos Records. It's my favorite record store. And I sit in there and we talk for, sometimes you think I fucking work there. I'm like, I'm like a lamp in the corner. I'm like a fixture. And I'll go in there and drink a beer, and we'll sit in there and just talk music. And people come in and go, "What do you know about this band?" And we smile and talk to them for an hour and a half. But it's like just talking about music, man. I love it. It can't get any better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since I can't play it.
Damn.
Unless it's spot.
Right.
But I can do that fast.
Apparently you can.
And I do a great 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at all that love for Robbie Bloodshed coming over.
Yeah.
Man.
Got a Robbie bracelet. Yeah, I think I got his his newest EP or whatever the fuck, and bracelet came with it.
Yeah, he does good at marketing. He's a good marketing guy. But I think that's horror punk. I think horror punk.
Yeah.
You go see a punk rock band and they have a shirt. You go see a horror punk band and they have 72 shirts.
Right.
It's like, it realistically is the ICP of the punk rock. We had some of those ICP guys at the Whiskey, and they take up that entire section upstairs, that whole wall, with their 14 different hockey jerseys, their 16 different basketball jerseys, 12 different hoodies.
Right.
But hey, it's the only way you're making money nowadays,
Yeah, man. That's the way.
Yeah,
I wanted so hard to have like a Darrow hockey jersey or jersey, something like that, but they're expensive to fucking make, bro.
Yeah. So what's up with Darrow? Let me interview you for a minute. Now we got on the show Loki.
Right.
What's up with Darrow, man? Am I allowed to ask?
Yeah.
Darrow is like Darrow.
I've had Joe on like every Monday since the show started. It's just been the Me and Joe show.
But that's the thing. Darrow is that band that's like the couple that you don't know if they're going to make it, so you talk real nice around them because you don't want to start any shit. You know what I mean? Like at no point, if Joe's there, do you go, "Hey Loki, look at that girl," because it's just going to cause a rift between you guys.
Right. I don't know what's going on with Darrow. You'd have to ask Joe, man. Fucking.
And you ask Joe, you get no answer.
Because he is Darrow, right? Like, I'm just a guy that does my own thing, but he's Darrow, so he would know what's going on. But
I would love to start a band with Joe because I would love to be able to sleep 18 hours a day.
Well, that's the problem with being in a band with Joe, is because he sleeps 18 hours a day, but you have to do all the stuff. I'm just playing, Joe.
Yeah,
Don't take it serious.
I love you, Joe. You know that. If I'll eat In-N-Out Burger for your dumb ass, I love you. What about
I have all those pictures from that you brought us to, like the first In-N-Out ever.
Yeah.
Or like In-N-Out headquarters.
And Kathy's son Dustin did like a photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah. What about Darkness? Is it no, not Dark. That's what's his name. No, the band you're in with you were in with Kellner. Yeah, Doomsday. Sorry, Doomsday Prophecy. I actually
ago.
Yeah, but I mean they're so good, man.
Yeah.
Revisit that for me.
For you, you'd be our only fan.
Just write an album for me and I'll buy it. I promise. I'll buy vinyl.
Tried to Doomsday, like, I don't think that I've gave everything my all from scratch as much as we gave it to Doomsday. Like, we've legitimately gave that like the fairest shot of like, let's try to fucking break into to that world. The metal world's a hard fucking place to break into, man. Like, because the bands are a dime a dozen. It's just hard to break into.
Yeah.
And if you sound remotely like anybody else,
yeah, it's a punishment. You get punished for it.
Then you get punished for it, because the labels will be like, well, we already have Black Dahlia Murder. We don't need Black Dahlia Part 2. And that's kind of how it goes, man. So if you get like pigeonholed into that you're just a poor man's Black Dahlia murder, then
I still like that
labels aren't gonna
CD,
look at
man.
you.
That CD is great. I still like it.
But we gave that the fucking old college try, and then members were in and out. We were having trouble with second guitar players, but it just ran its course, man. Like, that music was awesome. I fucking loved it. I love writing in that style because that's really, like, I grew up being a super fucking metalhead. And, you know, old school thrash and Swedish melodic and death metal and all that stuff. Like, I loved that. So it was easy for me to write in that style and do that. But I don't think that's going to come back.
You should rename it Bald Jesus. And the first album should be called, what did he call it? Barefoot Sunday? No Shoe Sunday?
Yeah, he had No Shoe Sunday.
No Shoe Sunday. Yeah, they call it Bald Jesus.
Fucking that guy wore no shoes on like the most inopportune times. Like, we'd be in El Paso, Texas, in like a really shitty club, and he's like doing load in and load out with no shoes on.
I saw that. I don't even like walking outside with no shoes on, man. Maybe I'm a bitch, but I just don't like. And here he was getting in the van, and I think we went down to that was the day we went down to Hollywood, remember? And we kind of all just I took you guys on a little sightseeing tour, and we kind of ran around, and he was cruising around with no shoes, and I'm like, you crazy son of a bitch, I love you
the whole time. I
haven't talked to him in a while. If you see him, well, no, you're not going to see him, you live in Tennessee, never mind.
Well, he's in North Carolina now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Brian Kellner. Awesome guy.
I talked to him. He's actually been on the show, and we've talked about a few things. But yeah, I forgot No Shoe Sunday were a thing. And like, once he got it in his mind that was going to be the thing, he did it the whole tour. He never not did it.
Right. Well,
Didn't matter where he was.
That's why people enjoy me managing them, because I don't forget the little things. What is that line? What is that line from Jerry Maguire when he says, "Do you remember that skank prostitute?
Oh, yeah.
You fucking Phoenix. That's my job to remember her name. That's my job." So Dicko wants to know what our thoughts are on the 69 Eyes. You want to go first?
I don't have any thoughts on them.
Do you know them? I mean, do you know of them?
No.
69 Eyes they're not from America. I know that. They're European of some sort, and longtime band. Kind of, I feel like if you're into Wednesday 13,
right,
you would be into the 69 Eyes.
That's probably why I'm not into them.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them now. Yeah, they look very that style.
Yeah. Was this chicken? Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Look, what are you, a dog? You like brought it in a dog bowl.
That's my water. Yeah, it's kind of similar what you're gonna get.
Right. Not that I should judge anyone from their pictures, because I've made the mistake of not liking bands just by the way they look, but like just by looking at them, I would say I don't like them.
It used to be back in the day when you could go to the record store and pick up a record and look at the way a band looked and said, I'm going to buy this because if this is what they look like, I'm going to like them. And then Good Charlotte came out, and that ruined that whole idea.
Oh, Tony and Kathy are in the 69 Eyes video.
Of course they are.
Of course they are.
Tony and Kathy are the coolest people that if you're watching this and you don't know Tony and Kathy, you don't know anything. They're the coolest people in the world. They really are. I don't even know what else to say about them.
I also want to say that if I saw a picture of myself, I probably wouldn't buy my music either.
I want to say if I saw a picture of myself, in fact, the picture that you posted of me for this show, I would probably be singing "It's Raining Men, Hallelujah."
Right.
I need to get that picture and put a rainbow flag behind me on it, and then put it up on my wall.
Listen, I think you look great.
I'm trying. That picture, I remember that picture, but I don't. I believe that it's a picture of me and Kathy, but we're standing far enough apart that.
All right. See, the problem is, you had that up on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's already there for the world to see. And
Oh, there's so many more embarrassing pictures of me on Facebook. I've learned long ago to not give a shit. There's some pictures of me on Facebook that you would even cringe at.
But yeah, you got some cringe up there.
You can't control it, man. What are you gonna do? You can't control it. You can drive yourself crazy. Here you go. Damn, that's far off. We failed, Dicko. Early 69 Days were a hair metal style band. Newer 69 Eyes have a deeper, darker, more melodic, gothic sound.
That's why I said I was just purely going on about what they look like, which is, I know it's the wrong way to look at it. I said that before I said it.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to stop right here to start listening to their music.
Right.
Let's take a 5-minute break and we'll be back after we listen to some 69 Eyes.
We can't do it on the show because we'll get a copyright notice.
Next thing you know, your favorite show will go away and there'll be no shots on the Loki show anymore.
Yeah. I wonder, my shit's not been getting put onto YouTube lately. I wonder what's going on, man. Like, ever since I posted that Johnny B picture of his bare ass, it was actually Kim Kardashian's bare ass with his face on her body.
Was Johnny B's ass bare because he had sold his tour underwear on eBay? Was that why he didn't have another set?
I don't know, but like ever since that picture, that thumbnail was used, my fucking videos haven't been going up on YouTube. Maybe I'm canceled.
Uh-oh. You violated YouTube's.
Right. They didn't say that though. I didn't get a message like, you're an idiot. You can no longer post your shit. Everything seems to be normal, but my videos are not going up on YouTube.
Well, no, because I went on, looked on YouTube, and they have the Nate video up there. Wasn't that one just last week?
I fucking uploaded that after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, and I none of the Dicko says no shots happen on the show anyways unless I buy them. I believe
so I had a gimmick.
I believe I did a shot on this show, so
without anyone buying it.
I'm above that.
Right. So you can no longer say this.
Yes. I'll tell you something. That's a guy, Nate, that I enjoy very much.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think that guy is a super talent. I really do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say about him other than that he's a very, very, very talented kid. And I wish he had done a little more than what I got to see him do.
Right.
I know he's from Ohio, so he's doing a lot of things in Ohio, but I mean, I basically got to see him with Blitz Kid on a tour we opened for them. And then that was supposed to be the final Tracy tour.
Right.
And then I got to see him with you guys in Goolsby when there was 12 guitar players and
right.
And what's his name? Johnny was playing. I remember asking Johnny, "What are you even playing this, man?" He goes, "I just play sounds. I just make sounds on my guitar and I make the eerie sounds." And I said, okay. So 69 Eyes are from Finland. Maybe that's why I don't know them.
Yeah, Johnny knows how to like find his place. If there's like too many guitar players, he's not gonna step on anyone's toes. So he'll do like ambient sounds with the tremolo. And
that was that version of the Roving Midnight was excellent, exceptional, very, very good. I just know it costs to tour with 27 guys on stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know if I was seeing you guys.
Well, that's why
Earth, Wind and Fire.
But that's why they did the tour together. Like, it's not expensive because the Crypt Keeper 5 are playing the show. Like,
they weren't on our shows.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, which shows were
the shows that you came through with those? It was shit.
Because that's actually a show I might not have been on.
Those were the Stellar Corpses Goolsby shows. Were you not on those?
I was not.
Okay, that's the show. We did those shows. We got them booked. We got that package booked at the Whiskey, and then we got that package booked at Gilman up north. And a week before,
we had just missed each other. Like
I
we
think
had
so
been
too.
there.
I think so too. In fact, that was the Michael Wednesday 13 show at the Whiskey Halloween night. And then the Goolsby show was like the 4th of November today.
Right.
It was just like a little bit later. That was the show we went up to Gilman, and like a week before the show, they added on another band, and it was DOA.
Yeah, that was the year our shit got stolen, and then
yes, because you guys came back to play the one Whiskey show, and you guys went home.
Yep.
Whatever happened out of that? They never found anybody. I'm taking it. Never found your stuff.
No, I think they ended up finding the trailer, but it was empty, and then we just trashed the trailer, and that was that.
Where they find it in Nevada?
Yeah.
Now my phone has died, so I can't see anything else anybody posts. So you're gonna have to share the comments with me.
Sarah's saying good night. She's going to bed.
Oh, is it 8:00?
Right.
It's 7:00. She's not used to the time change yet. Yeah, no.
So Dicko thinks it's Friday. So we had this gimmick. On Friday where people would tip for shots. And he's just tipped 2 shots. So you might have to do 2 shots.
I got you. Let's see what else we got here at the bar.
But it's not Friday. We never agreed to this, Dicko North, but I don't want you to get disappointed.
I don't want to do peach stops.
No, that's gross.
How about a shot of sweet and sour mix? That was look what I found.
Oh.
See, I'll tell you something. My son.
Oh, and he's got the pours, huh?
Oh yeah. My son. He knows how to pour.
What a pro.
Oh, he's great.
When I was that age, I was just drinking it right out of the bottle.
When I was this age, we were talking about it earlier. I was drinking King Cobra because it was $2. Right. I remember looking at a bottle of Jack Daniels thinking, dude, that's what David Lee Roth drinks. I can't afford that.
And who am I kidding? I still drink it right out of the bottle, even at this age. So
yeah, but do you drink it with the nipple on it?
No nipple.
Dicko.
Cheers, Dicko North. I told you. I warned you in October that I was having a sober November. I am having a sober November. That's going to happen.
Just November? Then December, you're lining them back up?
Yeah, sometimes it's good just to clean up for a month.
I don't drink very often. I drink when you guys are here. I drank a lot growing up because that was the thing to do.
Catherine's saying something about you not being able to do absinthe. Is there something about this that I should know about?
All right, so Kathy, whether it's intelligence, whatever the situation is, Kathy is light years ahead of me. She's my idol. You know what I mean? I idolize Kathy. I wish I could be more like her. And I can't keep up. She kicks my ass, man. She kicks my ass. But she brought over absinthe for so we had Ben turned 21 last year. And we always have a big get together on New Year's Eve because my birthday is January 2nd. My son Chris's birthday is December 28th. And Miss Kathy's birthday is January 1st. So we have our collective birthday. And it's basically everybody it's a race to see who can get drunkest first. And then they go and vomit and come back and we start over. It's like 2 laps. And
I need to get invited to one of these parties.
You're always invited. You just got to get out here. Start walking out. Build them legs up in No Drink November and walk on out. And we always do New Year's Eve. We have taco carts. We have bands play. We have and a lot of people for my birthday will bring me bottles,
Right.
And they'll bring me. They say, "What do you like?"
I know the feeling.
Yes. And they say, "What do you like?" And I say, "Just bring whatever you like." And then when they bring it, they set it at that big back table we have. I have shot glasses just lined up, and we just crack the bottle open. And I want no bottles left over. I want everything to be drank that night. And it tends to get done. It
tends to get done. I've been there.
We find people asleep in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's a mess, but it's our mess. And so Kathy this year brought over absinthe because she loves it. And she brought it over for Ben to drink for his 21st. And she did a shot, and she lined me up with all the accoutrement that goes with it. And
did you do like a proper, so Catherine, so she had the water drip with the sugar cube. All right, so you were doing a proper shot.
Kathy does nothing half-ass. Okay. And so we were definitely doing it by the book. And I just think I wasn't ready.
Yeah, huh?
I was like, I was like a schoolgirl who thought she could go out in the big city. It didn't happen.
How did you what did you decide to do it? Did you let the water drip a bit, or were you just like, I'll just do this just like this?
I think I don't think I wanted to wait because I was in such a rush to get drunk. And the sad thing is I was probably already drunk by the time we did it. Right. There was when she started laying it all out, it got the attention of a lot of people who came up to the table and started watching it. But I think it really intimidated people.
Yeah, huh?
Like, I think people were like, you got to go through all that. That must be some devil's blood or something, Right. And so
it's a poor girl. She's just trying to do it the proper way to have it to be the most enjoyable that it can be.
Yeah. And that's a sipping drink, correct?
Yeah, it's sipping.
Yeah, I don't think I sipped it. I think I gulped it.
Of course you did.
Because, I'm like a caveman, Bottle of wine, I can do that in one shot. But Kathy always brings over drinks and things that are for the educated. And let me be the one to tell you, most of my friends don't fall into that category.
Right.
Most of them, we have to open their beer cans for them. What is she saying now?
She was dripping it by hand from a bottled water.
Yeah, it was like a thing she was doing. It was very cool and interesting to watch. It was like a ritual, which I thought was very cool.
I've been to absinthe bars where they do the whole thing and they have like the fancy drip, the water drips. Yeah.
Kathy, absinthe bring it bars. Over again. We'll try again. Try until I get it right. I felt bad because Kathy's like, this shit's like, $800 a bottle or something like that. Right. And I'm like, why are you wasting it on me? I'm just going to throw it up in an hour.
And if you're already half in the bag and just mixing that shit in, you were doomed.
Yeah.
Doomed.
Oh yeah. But no, I mean, we've it's like, come out, we'll throw a party. We'll get some.
Right.
And we'll drink it first, and then we'll move on to the gross stuff.
I guess I got to take a COVID test first before I can go over there.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sure I've had antibodies before it was even a thing, bro. I've done, terrible, terrible things in, Peru, so... So I'm sure my body's just...
You've done terrible, terrible things in Hollywood, and I'm sitting there when you were doing it.
Yeah.
No, I think if we drink enough of that stuff, it'll kill anything in our body.
Yeah. I think my body kills anything in my body.
I kind of feel I have this running joke with Sarah and the kids. I broke my ankle a couple of years back. And I just snapped it. And they had told me I would, 8 weeks in the cast or some long period of time.
Right.
When I was supposed to have gotten the cast off, I was already walking without it, with just my shoe. And so I always joke with him. I say, "Oh, it's the Wolverine blood. That's what it is. It's the Wolverine."
Yeah,
blood. Nothing.
I have the same shit.
Yeah. See, Sarah, if you're listening, I told you it's real.
I have the same shit. I heal faster than most humans. I
do.
Get
Knock
sick.
on wood. I do. And it's a blessing, but it's something I have.
Yeah.
And the first 18 COVIDs couldn't fuck with me. How's 19 gonna do? That's the way I see it.
Right.
I made it. I'll go for COVID 20.
COVID 20 is the one. That's gonna be the unlucky one.
That's the Thriller in Manila right there. That's gonna be.
Damn.
What does your shirt say? I see that it says absinthe, but what does
it actually does say absinthe?
Yes. Yeah. What does it say? What are the four names?
Peace, Wasted, Love, and Hamilton, Ontario. So it's a bar in Hamilton, Ontario.
Shout out to Dicko.
Right.
So we're both Canadian. We're both Canadian Carloses today.
So yeah, this is actually a bar in Hamilton, Ontario.
Nice. And who did you go? You went there with who, Mike?
Goolsby, maybe.
Goolsby. Well, didn't you go? Didn't you go do some festival?
I did it with Darrow. I did Canadian runs actually from Darrow on. Actually, the Graves contacts were from my Darrow days.
So, what was it like going up there with Darrow? Because I asked why Darrow, because Graves is a name that's already in the book, and you're going to get people. But going up there with Darrow is an experiment. Who's going to show up?
Yeah.
And how?
So
how
we just buddied up. We buddied up with another band who was going to headline, and we fucking did
just jumped on with them.
We did the main support and jumped on with them, and it fucking worked out, man.
What's Canada like? I've never been there. I mean, is the crowds wise? Is it they have a good scene?
Yeah,
I'm sure this is 20 years ago, but still, I mean, do they?
No, it's an awesome scene. I think everywhere that's not the U.S. has a better scene.
Well, that's because we take for granted in the U.S. and
yeah, we really do.
It's amazing
to me.
It's amazing to me that you guys can come play the whiskey, and we get a good crowd because there's so much to do here. On any given night, you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains, you can go to Mexico, you can go to neighboring big cities. There's 20 amusement parks, there's 2 baseball teams, 2 football teams, 2 basketball teams, 2 hockey teams. So there's always something to do. So I'm blown away sometimes when people actually show up to clubs. But I know that if you go to Duluth or if you go to Boise, there's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do there. Yeah.
That's why when you go to Boise and 6 people show up, you go, God, we suck.
Yeah. Man, we're really terrible.
If we can't get the kids to come out. But that's that's what kept the Ramones in business. They went to all those little cities and played little shitty clubs, and the kids would show up because
that's what would happen to us. We would play like Navajo Nation. If we did like a bunch of those shows, a lot of bands wouldn't go into the reservations. You know what I mean? But we were going in there, and
those kids are nuts. Those kids are nuts.
Crazy. Yeah,
and they want to buy your shit, and they want to hold on to something. It's great. Yep. That's kind of what I always targeted to do, to go play the play the off city instead of playing Las Vegas. Play Henderson.
Yep.
It's the little off city, and the kids will just be like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm going to the rock show. Who's playing? Who cares? There's a show, and they show up, and if they half-ass like you, they'll buy your T-shirt, and next time you come back, they're there. Go to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and play, where the kids have absolutely fuck all zero to do, and you go and you play, and they, So what has Kathy said since? Anything?
She doesn't really get drunk, so I drink stuff that challenges their palate.
Oh, man. I don't think I've ever seen Kathy drunk. Maybe I have.
Yeah, huh?
I think I've seen Kathy.
This sounds like a challenge.
I think I've seen Kathy feeling good. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's feeling it. But I've never seen Kathy where she's like, you know what I mean?
I think good old cousin Loki's gonna have to come by and for the birthday the
birthday bash,
celebration.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and get hammered. You have to wear that shirt so that she can...
Yeah, I'll do a proper shot of absinthe or whatever.
I'll tell you what, Kathy loves band guys. So if you come out here,
I know.
So if you come out here and bring that little acoustic guitar of yours and put on them tight pants, Kathy might get drunk.
Sorry, Tony.
I don't worry about Tony, man. Tony is a god among men.
Right.
No, Tony's the best, man. Like I said, anybody in any kind of horror punk field anywhere that wants to know anything, Tony Ciancola is your guy. and he could just tell you a discography of any band.
Yeah, he was just saying that they watched a documentary on the Navajo music scene, and there was a bunch of people wearing Cancer Slug shirts. Yeah, they fucking love horror rock, man. And like that's just not with like I've toured there with Darrow. Like it's not just because of Michael or whatever. Like I've been there with Darrow, and it's sick. You know, like those guys just love when any artist goes in there and fucking is gonna play. They just appreciate it.
Yeah,
you know?
They got a rock show that night. Let's go. And sometimes you playing those shows are what give you that big following because they're just so happy someone came there, you know. Who else is chiming in? Sarah, did Sarah ever chime back in, or did she actually go?
No, I think she's actually in bed. Yes, I have tried Proper 12, and Anguiano just had some.
Who asked that?
Dicko.
Isn't he watching?
Yeah. The thing about shows like that, only 6 people show up means more to those 6 people.
Yes. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, and you can back this up. It is harder to play to 6 people than it is to play to 6,000 people.
It's a challenge, man, because
you can see all of their judging faces.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only that, but you don't want them to see you mail it in because there's only 6 people there, you know? Like you really, and it's a challenge to fucking get yourself up to fucking
play to those 6 people
to do it because, you know, especially if you had expectations that there were going to be more, you know, like
I think
the expectation is that this is going to be a rough show, you can get through it a lot easier. If the expectation was this is going to be a good show and then 6 people show up, it's fucking tough to get through.
One of the other problems with the 6 people show is most of the time, those are the 6 people you brought.
Right.
So now it's like these people have seen me 18 times.
Yeah.
We did that show in Seattle before, and the turnout was There was some people there, but it was mostly But there was people that showed up. In fact, there was people that showed up in all those cities that had just seen the flyer or had followed us on Instagram or something of that nature, and they were there to see us. So, you know, Ben's 12 years, 15 years on stage, he's learned to fucking turn it on, and he would turn it on for those people, and they loved it, you know.
It's not only that. Sometimes, you know, you'll feel bad for whoever bought the show. like I try to be understanding, but like at the same time, there's an agreement, right? So there's a balance of how are we going to approach this at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But, you know, I came out here and did my part. You got to do yours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of venues fail because they expect the band to do everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I know.
And then they'll try to get the local bands to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Including bringing in all the money, you know?
Yep.
And I know that, you know, working at being a doorman at an iconic venue, I've seen that a lot. And it would bother me that they have these shows they know are going to sell out, and those are the shows they put on their calendar. And they don't put the nights in between where they need help filling those places.
Yeah. That's the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. You're shooting yourself in the foot literally by doing that. And why not have it filled every night, you know? Yeah. But I mean, you know, everybody has their way of running things. And if it's worked for longer than 10 years, you can't tell them any different.
Yeah.
Even though it's blatant to everybody, but you know, as long as the main people are making the money, what do they care? You know, but yeah, it is what it is. How's Dingbats going? You ever get there?
I don't know, man. Fucking, I'm in Nashville these days, so.
I mean, it's not that far. It's not exactly like you're coming.
14-hour drive.
Yeah, but it's not like a 14-hour flight. Like you're coming out here.
Right.
I met Vito from Dingbats.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah,
he's awesome.
He showed up to LA Gun Show at the Whiskey, and we started rapping back and forth, and
Vito's the man, dude.
Found out that he knew everybody I knew, and we became friends in real life, and then became friends on Facebook. And good guy, man, real good guy.
Yeah, Vito's been around forever, even before I was in Gotham Road or with Michael. Like we were having shows at Connections in the Mr. Monster days. Vito's been around forever, man. And like, shit, even when I wasn't of age and going into connections, that guy was around. So yeah, he knows us from when we were just fucking kids.
And I know you know Scott Futrell.
Yeah, Scott and Jackson.
He's down there with you guys now in Tennessee, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah. He actually asked us last year if we wanted to come and play his festival.
The Zombie Stomp thing?
The Zombie Stomp thing. And we couldn't get out there last year, so we had talked about doing it this year. And we went, but nobody was there. But you guys played that, right? Daryl played that?
I was not there for that.
So when Daryl plays without you, who plays guitar?
Well, I quit.
Johnny End?
I left. I left Daryl.
I remember. So who was the guitarist? Because
Dean. Was it Dean?
No, because I think Dean was gone at that time. Maybe. I don't know.
I think Dean was there for that show, or maybe Johnny Knollwood was. I don't know.
But Knollwood. That's right. I always, they're gonna hate me for saying this, but I always get Knollwood and Wasted mixed up.
Right, yeah.
I know one of those guys ate out of a trash can in front of me. Probably both of them.
That was probably both of them. It sounds like something both would do.
Yeah, I got a picture of Mikey eating out of the In-N-Out Burger trash can.
Yeah, Tony's saying the best case scenario is that venues draw people regardless of who's playing. There are venues like that where they're just slammed all the time.
Yeah,
but that's not that. That's rare.
Tony and I have talked a lot about going into ventures together. But I think we have to realize that not everybody thinks like us.
Right.
We'd probably end up being more disappointed by our fellow music lover because nobody loves music like us. So let me ask you, Loki, what is there anything new you listen to?
No.
Yeah, same here.
For a multitude of reasons. One is that I'm trying to write. Right now is like I'm in a mode of writing.
So you don't want to hear things that are new that could influence you?
I don't want to hear a goddamn thing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I hum something to you?
And two is that when I'm in the mood to listen to music, I just want to hear something that's familiar. Like I'm not like if I listen to something new, I really gotta like pay attention to it. I want to you have to be in a certain mood to listen to something new.
There's not a whole lot new that I really care to listen to.
Yeah.
If
I'm listening to music, I need it to be something like that I'm familiar with because I'm either trying to get through a drive. Like you ever try to drive a long distance and like
new music,
you put something new on. It's like
yes,
no,
I gotta sing along to keep me awake.
Yeah, exactly.
You get me on a real long drive, I'll be singing my own harmonies. It's great, man. I mean, it's. I just so what do you go out when you can in Nashville? Like, do you ever go to clubs? Do you?
Well, the whole time I've lived here, I've been the busiest I've ever been in my life. And the only reason I'm home now is because the world is shut down.
So if COVID didn't happen, what would you be doing right now?
We'd be out.
Who's we?
That thing would have never happened with Michael. And still fucking me.
I'm like thinking, am I missing something here?
Yeah.
Did I dream that? But but since so if tomorrow the world goes back to normal and people start ringing your phone, do you have a band to go out with tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm already planning something. I can't say what I'm doing.
Okay. You'll text me later.
All right.
No, but
I've already something's being booked in the process of being booked for September in Europe.
Okay.
The
Mike Hideous tour?
No, not Mike Hideous.
Did he poach the band?
Yeah, right.
Is it Zoli doing Misfits songs?
I went on to the next Misfits singer.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, I played with Hideous first, so actually Michael's not the first one I played with. So.
I
actually give credit to Hideous for fucking I give him credit for having me take music a little more seriously because like when I joined
were you in his band?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you played with. I mean, I thought maybe you toured with them, but like in a different band.
I was in Spice Society '99 in the same time I was in Mr. Monster. I was in Spice Society '99 with them, and I did like some Empire Hideous stuff with them, and yeah, like he kind of changed how I wanted to approach things. You know, he was a little more serious. At that time, it was just like a good time. Let's jam. Jam was my word. We're gonna jam, and then he changed that to rehearsal and like being on time and fucking all the things that professional musicians do instead of just fucking
jamming and drinking.
Right.
So you played with Hideous, you played with Graves. Who else from the band did you play with? Did you ever play with Bobby? Did you ever play with Chud?
I've played shows with Bobby, but not his
band.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't. Him and his wife both play the guitar, so
right. And then Chud, I was on those Graves tours as the guitar tech.
Okay.
And after that, Chud hates me. So,
I don't know if that's such a bad thing.
Right.
I think there's yeah.
I wouldn't know one. I wouldn't know one way or the other. I just know for sure that he hates me, and that's all I need. And I think it's hilarious to make fun of Chud anyway, because that guy is a cartoon. That guy is like, I don't know, just all the things that you could do. He's just a cartoon character in the worst way possible. Like, I don't know what else to say about that guy.
I don't. He's the one guy I can honestly say I don't know. I mean, I know. I know Bobby and his wife, and I mean, I have a professional working relationship / friendship kind of thing with Doyle, and have a friendship with Jerry, and I've been around Glenn a million times, and he's always been good to me. Michael, obviously, I fucking tried to fist fight Joey Image, but it didn't work out.
Why is that?
Joey Image was in a band with some friends of mine, local LA band here, and a guy who's a friend of mine named Rick Johnson, just stand-up, amazing man. Also went back years with the Ramones. I mean, this guy knows everybody.
Right.
And a great guy. When he saw the kids play for the first time, he gave Chris a really like awesome PV combo amp that was super loud, just a little 2x12. He was always there to support the kids, to give their very couple first shows. He brought the whole PA. I mean, just, a great guy, and appreciated these hardworking kids trying to make music. So I would do flyers for them and t-shirts for them and things like that. And one time, they were talking, I did a flyer for them that was pretty intricate. And the singer asked me, he said, it was on their MySpace page, we were messaging, and he said, hey, can I give you like $40 for the flyer? And I was like, how about 20? I felt bad. I feel bad taking money from musicians. They're hard working.
Right.
And so Joey Image had just joined the band. So he jumps into conversation and says, $20 for that piece of shit flyer?
Damn.
Fuck you. You can't have our money. Everybody knows I was in the Misfits, and they're trying to drain me for my money. And I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll come to the show and you can tell me to my face, I know you used to have muscles. I could really give a shit less now.
Right.
I'm about 20 years younger than you. I'm going to put you on your back. And we never got that chance to meet, unfortunately. I wanted to. And he was, this is a grown man. He's probably in his, I don't know, how old was he? 60s?
Yeah, I don't even know.
He was the age of the rest of the guys. And, this was 20 years ago. So he's in his 40s, maybe, I don't know, still just being a fucking wreck. And it's like, when are you going to learn?
Right.
You're getting there. You're getting your 20th chance at music.
Right.
And you're blowing it yet again. you think it's going to change, you got to change, you know. But yeah, Joey was. I was not sad. I did not share the posts when he passed.
Right.
I did not care. And if that makes me a bad person, then I'm a bad person.
Right. You are a terrible person.
To that, I'll do a shot of Malibu.
I played. Joey was in the Undead when we played with the Undead.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think Joey would take anything that would pay him.
Right.
And
let's see who else. Steve Zing jumped on with Darrow. Did a few songs. We covered some Misfits tunes, and Steve Zing jumped on and sang.
Steve Zing, nicest guy in the world, at least from what I know.
He is absolutely the nicest guy in that whole scene.
We have a
genuinely.
Yeah. I got to meet him on Danzig tours.
Right.
And just sweet guy, great musician.
He's the Dave Grohl of horror rock.
I would definitely agree with that statement.
That's exactly what he is. He's
he
so
plays
nice.
He plays multiple instruments. He's
so nice it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. So so you played with Zing? Did you ever play with London or Todd Youth
so, no.
or?
No, I don't think so. I think Michael.
I mean, you had more of the angle being geographically where you're from to play with a lot of these bands than we got that chance out here. I mean, Glenn is the only LA guy now, you know. Yeah. Doyle and Jerry live on the compound. No, I don't think Jerry. I don't think Doyle lives there anymore. I know that he was separated from Alyssa, his longtime girlfriend, because of COVID. I know they were separated, and they were having a hard time because they, you're separated from the one you love.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. But I guess I've seen pictures of them together recently, so good for them. Doyle's a great guy. Doyle was a guy that Ben messaged.
I'm willing to die for love.
Is that a new song? Is that a hint about the new band?
I'm willing to die for love.
What's that? Yeah. Yeah, he was a guy. Ben messaged him and said, would you play a solo on one of our songs? And he said, when you guys write your next batch of songs, send me the 3 you think are the best, and I'll solo on one. So, those guys, back to those guys, they've always been good to my kids. So love those guys, man.
Tony's saying he helped Steve get floor access to the Sammy Hain reunion.
Yes, he did. That's a funny story. Tony went downstairs. Had his ticket. He went down, and the security guard wouldn't let Steve Zing onto the floor, even though Steve Zing had the all access. I'm in the band fucking pass. And Tony had to basically tell the guy, you're talking to a band member. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the guy was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it was it was funny. Tony is great, and the thing about Tony that blows me away is we'll be at a show and Tony will see somebody. The guy looks just like your average Joe, and Tony will be like, oh, that's Nick Oliveri right there from Queens of the Stone Age. How the fuck do you know, dude?
Yeah,
Tony has that great Nick Oliveri story too.
That is something, because a lot of the people that I listen to and like or don't like, I don't know what they look like. I try not to. I hear things and I don't go check out what they look like. I wouldn't know.
Tony knows.
Know anything.
Tony knows.
Tony knows.
Yeah. Tony was at the whiskey one night and he took a picture with a guy. And I'm probably going to screw this up. I love you, Tony. I'm sorry if I screw this up. What band was the guy in? The guy was in, I don't know. He was the 6th bass player for Son of Sam or something like that, And Tony was like, oh, that's that guy. And I'm like, I've heard of that guy. I've heard the name. I know his body of work. No fucking clue what the guy looks like.
Right.
So, but Tony knows. That's why he's the wizard.
He really is.
I think I'm gonna get a tattoo of Tony.
I think Tony needs to come on here.
Tony does need to come on there. I thought if I ever did,
and give us the history. Give us the history of what the fuck we're doing here.
I told Tony that after I saw movies like American Hardcore and like those movies where they take a genre of music and they tell you the history of it. I told Tony, him and I should sit down and write the horror punk book. Now I'll write it because I write, but Tony is the historian of it. And do the punk, the family tree, and do everything, and write a book about it, and just Tony would know it, man. He would
He's
know. He's
saying when they saw Faith No More, the band came and sat with him and Kathy in a handicap session, and security tried to toss Faith No More out.
Have you ever seen what Faith No More look like? I throw him out too.
And I guess he's telling you that it was Tommy Hatz from Graves. He was like the guitarist for the original Graves.
There you go. See? Who the fuck would know what he even looked like?
Tom Emanuel. Well, I know what he looks like because I grew up
you have a history.
So.
Yeah. But if that was some guy from some California punk rock band, you'd be like, if it was like the guy who played guitar, the third guitarist from the Dead Kennedys,
right?
You'd be like, I know the Dead Kennedys. I know what half of their names might be. I know their songs.
Right.
But how would I just know that guy walking down the street? The guy's walking down the street holding some groceries, and Tony's like, take a picture with me,
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I know your music. I know that your name. I couldn't put the face to the name.
No, not at all. But Tony is that guy, and just because of his love for music.
Yeah.
And his love for music is phenomenal. It's like, it's really great.
We need more Tonys. We need more Tonys in the world.
If there was more Tonys in the world, we'd sell more records.
Right.
Yeah, Tony turned me on to so many groups, so many bands. Tony turned me on to Darrow. It's the truth, He's the one that said, you got to hear this band. You got to hear this band. You got to hear this band. I said, Tony, leave me the fuck alone. But he wouldn't. So now here I am talking to you, bunch of old men.
Right. Tony's probably got more demos than I have, like, of my own bands.
Yes. Well, put it this way. So the Scurvy Kids, when it was me and my three sons, we recorded, I want to say it was a 4 or 6 song EP. And we sold them for, they were all homemade. Like, I had the covers printed, so they were in color and everything, but it was just burnt discs. And I think we did 100 of them.
Right.
Nobody in the band has one. We gave them all away, sold them all, whatever. So when I needed those songs back, I had to go to Tony
yep,
to get the songs that I recorded. But he had it, and he said, yeah, I have it. And I kept the copy, and I've been in Tony's house. You've been in Tony's house.
Yeah.
He has a lot of things, on shelves, kind of like that. But I know somewhere like in a basement or somewhere underground, there's a treasure trove of just thousands of CDs and vinyls and guitar picks and Johnny B. Morbid stage worn gear and, just all that stuff. You know what I mean? He's got it all. He's got it all. And
stage worn gear. I don't know if that's the way to go, man.
That won't be worth something someday.
I mean, some of that, like, I feel bad for people who were buying like Michael's the vinyl pants, stage worn vinyl pants, because not only was it stage worn, but it was like worn for the whole tour.
Yeah.
Never washed them.
Yeah, I get it. And then and he hasn't washed them since, and they've been sitting in a box, basically growing mold. I loved that one time you guys came around, or maybe I think you came too. It was an acoustic tour, and you guys were doing it in that van that Arturo had.
Right, yeah, the minivan, right?
That van looked like it was so on its last leg.
It was.
When you guys left, I was like, bon voyage, my friends. I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
They'll be eaten on the side of the road by vultures or something.
I can't believe that thing made it back and forth across the country twice.
You know who's even more impressive, even though it didn't make it, was Vagora's 2-cylinder RV.
And that wasn't an acoustic tour. That was a full band tour.
Was that a full band tour?
Yeah.
Do you remember Vagora's 2-cylinder RV?
Yeah, I actually told them. I told them this is the kind of
started on fire.
I told them this is the kind of tour vehicle that breaks bands up. And sure enough, it did break them up. They broke up after that tour.
They spent 5 days with the extension cord plugged into a donut shop or a sandwich shop or something because they could not get off the road. They you know, my father, you met my father-in-law enough times to know that he's like Johnny Mechanic. And he asked me, can you ask that band if I can look under the hood? Because he was so blown away. And he looked under the hood and he goes, if these guys make it to the next state, I'll be impressed.
Right.
And they made it to Texas. And then that was the end of that.
Yeah.
And that thing, like I said, was like a 2-cylinder. It was like a little Toyota truck that someone duct taped a fucking camper shell on. And that thing was, I mean, God bless them for trying. That's all you can do as a musician is try. But that takes some balls. I don't know if I would take that on. And that's when you call Enterprise and just say, give me a van and we'll take the hit.
Mark Poland played drums for Graves on a Canadian tour that we did once.
Yeah.
We needed Mark to fill in for like, I don't know, we played for 2 weeks or something.
That was right after he did the Goolsby tour.
And so I go up to Vegora territory and I rehearse Mark at their house. And all the Vegora dudes are there. I jam with Mark. We fucking, and then they're like, yo, you want to see? We're gonna go on tour after when Mark comes back. We got this fucking tour vehicle, and like I saw it before they ever left. Like they're still working on it. They were still doing like conversion work to turn it into this, I don't know, RV type situation. And dude, it was still in their driveway. I walk outside into the driveway to see this thing, and I go. And I told them to their face, I'm like, this is the vehicle that's going to break you guys up. This is the kind of vehicle that breaks a band up. You will break up after this. And it happened.
Well, I'll tell you what, they had one, if they had no other good day on that tour, they stayed here, of course. And we played a show with them at this little dinky place that maybe 20 people showed up to. But they did sell some merch and they were well received. And then we played, and when we played, Rick Agnew, from our good friend from the Adolescents and everything, he showed up to watch the show, and we told him, whenever you come to the show, just bring your guitar. And if you feel like playing, you know, and Rick just right. Rick just loves to play. So he played the show with us, and they were pretty like enamored, you know. They were really like, wow, that guy's a legend, you know. And so afterwards we're like, they wanted to go somewhere. They wanted to go to Hollywood or something. And I was just like, well, you know, Rick's going to come over the house and we're going to barbecue or something like that. And they were like, oh shit, okay, we're going to go to the house. And they just hung out with him and just asked him a million questions. And he was the nicest guy in the world, answered their questions. The only thing he wanted from them was he wanted to see Robbie's Brian May guitar.
Right.
Because he was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah.
And he fucked around with that for a little while. And but other than that, they had a real good time when they were here. But then they went on to nothing because they broke down. It was really a shame.
God damn.
But you know what? You gotta have.
I try to warn them. I warned them.
But you gotta have that. If you want to be a band that makes a career out of touring, you've got to have that broke down story, or that all our gear was stolen story, or that, you know, we lost somebody from the band story. Or
I gotta tell you, I could have done without it.
We all could have, but you know, I mean, who am I if I'm not the guy that shit on the side of the van? You know what I mean? At a fucking, you know, at a shitty hotel or motel somewhere in Idaho in 6-degree weather in the snow. But it made me a better person. It made me who I am today.
Yeah, it certainly did that.
I just closed my eyes and imagined I was in Hamilton. It made it all better.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. But so what else is coming up, man?
This is just a sit and wait approach to see how the world reacts to what the fuck is going on. Other than that, I'm writing like crazy, dude. I have a studio here. This is for my own thing, actually. So I'm doing my own thing, but I'm also doing something else. Right.
To be determined.
Yeah. So it's determined. It's just not. I'm not gonna say anything.
They got. Fucking, I know they're doing shows in Nashville.
Oh, bro, it's.
I have a friend who has a band out there, and the
problem is that
they play quite a bit.
You can play one off, and you could go downtown and do like singer-songwriter bullshit or like some cover band, but you can't. It's not. You can't make a living off of it like that. Those days, we're far away from that right now. Like, and you can't tour anywhere because you can only do like these one-off tours with 30% capacity. So it just doesn't make sense to do anything like that. Sure, you can play somewhere, but it's just a one-off. You know what I mean?
I think that music goes in waves. You know, the fact that in the 90s people actually liked the Grateful Dead again should show you that people just follow trends and have no taste. But I feel like we're back at the time, like the 50s, like when Elvis and Johnny Cash and all the way to, James Brown, when these tour packages would come through town, they were barnstorming tours and bands would jump on and fall off. They would get on stage and perform 2 songs and be done.
Right.
And I really feel like with this iHeartRadio type tours, that's the way it's gotten again. And
it could be like that.
Yeah, you put these bands on, like the Foo Fighters play 3 songs, and then Lil Wayne or whoever the fuck the little guy is of this time plays 3 songs, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just give us your money and listen for your favorite songs.
Right.
And hopefully that time will pass and we'll get back to where we were. I mean, from the 50s, we went into the 60s and went into bands that were, started the whole, like, Zeppelin and Sabbath and Stones and stuff like that, concerts became 3-hour love fests for, Jim Morrison and, and then it all goes in waves.
Let's just start with, I want there to be concerts again, regardless of what kind of format they follow. I just want there to be fucking concerts.
The best thing to do is have a tour on the back burner, and the minute everything gets lifted, go on tour immediately, because people will go, I love that band. And they're not even thinking about it. They just want to go out and stand shoulder by shoulder and cough on each other and be stupid, but they want to do it because they feel it's their American right to infect others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony's asking, do you think horror-themed bands like Motionless in White and Nice Nine Kills will set off another horror punk scene in 10-ish years? Will they inspire a younger audience to want to do that kind of music? I don't know, man. I don't know if they have that kind of clout. Maybe they do. I just wouldn't know.
I feel like Motionless in White and Ice Nine Kills are big bands in their genre.
Yeah.
They're not big bands. I've had this argument with people. Bring Me the Horizon, biggest band. Well, they are a big band, but they're the biggest band in their genre. Right. So if you go do a concert and you see Third Eye Blind and you ask 100 people in the audience, no one's ever heard of that band.
Oh, I think you hit the thing again. Yeah. There you go. You're back. Or you were back. No. Look what happened. We started talking about Third Eye Blind, and bam! I think his internet connection is down too. He ruined the whole thing. What's up, Scott? I think Carlos just ruined his whole connection. But there's no shame in like being the big band in the genre. I mean, for a long time, that's what the Misfits were. There's no shame in that. Scott, what's going on, brother? Dicko North, what are you saying no to? Look at this motherfucker. Didn't even know that Ice 9 Kills was horror themed. Motionless White. They haven't found their sound. Yeah. I couldn't even fucking tell you. I don't listen to fucking Motionless in White. I just know that I guess that guy loves that kind of the horror themed stuff. I guess their visuals are like that. Maybe not their sound. You're finally off of work, eh? Everyone's safe and healthy. Is Joe okay? Like it was our first Monday without Joe. Is Joe gonna be all right? I'm kind of worried about him. I haven't heard from him. Maybe I should reach out. Like, hey, dude, how you doing? Are you upset about Monday? How'd you spend your day? They go back from metalcore and wanting to be Marilyn Manson. Yeah, see, I wouldn't know anything about that. You messaged him an hour ago to no reply? No, you give him too much time on his hands. You never know what happens with that Joe. But apparently he just did a fucking 8-hour podcast with Jeff Frummis. I think the actual podcast part of it was like 5.5 hours or something like that, but they were like on the phone for like 8 hours. 8 hours! I shouldn't be too surprised because there have been nights where Joe's kept me on. After the show is over, Joe and I just kept talking till like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I am not surprised with that whatsoever. Especially if Joe had been drinking. Fucking, Catherine saying you need to fire your engineer over there, Carlos. I think their internet connection is just done. Maybe the show's... I mean, we have been going for almost 3 hours, so we should probably end the show. Plus, my dog's looking at me like, what the fuck? He wants to go take a walk, do some stuff. JV drinks? Here's something for you guys. Hold on. Bam. Consider this a fucking warning. Are they back yet? No. Hold on, let me get...
How about now?
Oh, there you go.
Hey!
Bam. Hey,
my
we got
IT
him back.
guy's kicking ass. He makes me dinner.
What's for dinner over there? What's cooking? Some chicken? Oh, I lost you again.
Am I back?
Now you're back, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, I got some chicken, some fries from my chef's son. So were you talking to Tony?
I was talking to the crowd in general. I showed him dildo chicken, which is an ongoing thing. It was on your flyer too, but no one noticed it either. I've had a chicken running with a dildo on every banner.
I'm gonna have to go look it up.
And yeah, if you look at the one picture with all of us near Joey, next to Johnny. What's happening?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Get back over here.
It's very sensitive, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. All right, back to dildo chicken.
Right. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see your banner here. I'll tell you where it is.
Oops. Well, actually, I wanted to do something, Ben. I wanted to go this way. Can I move this to the left?
Yeah.
And then this way I can see what everybody's saying because... There you go. And then if you can just get on...
So right here.
Let's see, I'm getting there right now.
If you see the picture with you guys and Jerry only,
shit,
dildo chicken is invading that space right there. So
it's right. It's his. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's it. You have to go to his Loki page, not his personal page.
Right? Yeah, it's the fan page,
not his Frito Pendejo page. That's not even Frito. What's his name? Oh, his name is not. Not sure. All right. Let's see. Okay, so where is it at now?
It's gonna be over here.
Yeah, but no, I was looking for the dildo chicken.
Yeah, look by
Kathy said
Jerry
Carlos
only.
needs to fire his engineer. That's
yeah.
Why did I get fired?
Right there, Kathy.
This guy was born before microphones were even a thing.
Damn. People used to just yell loudly.
Don't you remember? Garrett Morris for the hearing impaired in today's news. In today's news.
That's why your voice is so loud, bro.
Oh man. Who else is all right? So now I got back to
your guy's microphone magically cut off when you're trying to eat.
Is that what it was? Oh,
yeah.
You don't know me. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, so we were saying that
Loki Carlos, shall we have another drink?
Shall we have another drink?
Dude,
that's probably why the mic keeps shutting off.
First off, I gotta tell you, these shot glasses are nasty, dude. That one you got grew a fucking worm in it. Look at that thing.
It's a bug.
It's a bug, he says, not a worm, it's a fly. Yeah, I've been doing shots the whole time. What do you want to do a shot of, Ben? Ben's gonna do a shot with us. Loki is saying that it's no, what is it? No booze November.
It's just a sober November. That's
sober
all.
November. Is that like what was that song?
It's supposed to be.
What's that song by the Counting Crows? Long September or something.
It's supposed to be sober October, but my birthday's in October, and I can't be doing that shit.
You just had a birthday. That's right. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
I'll be sticking with proper 12, of course.
Right on.
Look at his shot glass though. Look at the kid's shot glass.
Even he won't drink out. Even he won't drink out of his shot glass.
He won't drink out of his shot glass. I'm gonna do another Jack.
You want Jack?
I'll do Jack.
You want a green tea shot?
No, I'm gonna do Jack. I already had a shot of each, so that's why your proper 12's going. It's now proper 0.
Scott Futrell saying it sounds lame that I'm not drinking in November. This is why Joe is off and Black Friday is off. Fucking can't do either of them and stay sober, man.
Futrell, that's my boy right there, dude.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I'm gonna hang out with him again soon, man. What are you drinking now? Oh, Ben's making himself a drink.
Oh, a cocktail, huh?
Yeah.
I'm
You ready?
Yeah.
Salute.
Cheers.
Get in frame for this?
I'm with you in spirit.
No G-men. That's what we're talking about right there.
How do you feel about John Gruden?
The fact that we've played 7 tough games against 7 teams with 6 teams with winning records, but when we did play the Patriots, they did have a winning record at that time.
Right.
and we're 4-3. I think we're okay. I feel pretty good about it. We take on the Chargers, Denver, your favorite team, the New York Jets,
The Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Giant fanboy.
Yeah, I know you are. So this works out this way, right? Your Giants, Yankees, Rangers.
I don't really
Knicks.
I don't really like baseball.
But I mean, like your friends, like you're either.
I would have been a Met fan.
Okay, because see, most Mets guys I know are Mets, Islanders, Jets. It's like giant, because it's where you're from, you know.
Yeah. I grew up
a bunch of losing
Met fan.
teams anyway.
Did you hear that? Whole bunch of losing teams, anyways. He said.
When was the last time the Raiders did anything?
We beat the Browns this Sunday. Shut up.
No.
Oh, he's jumping in. Hold on. He's going to get in here now.
At least we've had a Super Bowl since it's turned 2010.
Oh, shit. I lost. Hold on. We're getting salty right here. Hold on. Here he comes.
I have loser teams. You like the Maple Leafs, bro. When was the last time the Maple Leafs?
Who has more cups?
Yo, yeah. All right. I'm sorry. My grandpa might have seen the Leafs win a cup. You know? God.
Who's your baseball team?
I don't like baseball, but I grew up liking the Mets.
He said he's going to turn to a Nashville Predators fan now.
No way. Because when I was a kid, like the New York Mets were like that scrappy team, like all the guys were doing cocaine and fighting people in the stands. Like it was awesome. Like it was awesome to be a Met fan in the 80s.
Mets, man.
Yeah, dude. So like that was my team. I grew up fucking loving the Mets. You know. They were getting into fights all the time. Like those guys were rowdy.
Yeah, Lenny Dykstra was on drugs and
the whole team was on drugs.
The relief pitchers were banging chicks in the bullpen. It was nuts. My brother is a lifelong Mets fan.
Yeah, Keith Hernandez, Dwight Gooden, and Darryl Strawberry all on the same team.
Keith Hernandez has a magic loogie, though. I will say
that wasn't him. He didn't spit the loogie. It was the pitcher. What's his name?
Oh, what
the Seinfeld episode?
Yeah.
Now your name totally slips my mind, but yeah, no, yeah, those '86 Mets were something, man.
Hey, and the Browns are actually pretty good this year. So
yeah, if you beat the Browns, how does that even count?
All I remember is this quarterback running.
With no Odell.
I remember this quarterback running, and they call him Danny Dimes. I thought it was because he dropped dimes, but I realized it's because he trips over a dime at the 30-yard line when no one's around.
Listen. I want to see you. I want to see you running 22 miles an hour and see what happens. That guy was running for his life. Actually, I don't think he knew
From
how
what?
fast.
Killer bees? How did he fall? No one was around.
Because you're not paying attention. That guy's like, I'm usually not this fast, and that cornerback I know is really fast. So I better turn it into another gear. And like his legs were just moving faster than his body could keep up with, and he started that forward lean and forget it. It was over. You knew it.
Yeah. At least he held on to the ball, though, right?
Finally.
Yeah, because I've seen guys drop the ball in that situation.
Right. And it could be worse. It could be Mark Sanchez running into the ass.
The butt fumble.
The butt fumble. Yeah.
I thought that
it could be worse. We could be the Cowboys. So
yeah. Just quarterback after quarterback after quarterback.
Yeah.
I thought Daniel Jones falling was going to become the new butt fumble, but I was wrong. The butt fumble still outrules that.
It was a great meme for like a second.
And for a second. You know why? It's because he was actually being super athletic. He was they clocked him. He was running 22 miles an hour.
He's a gazelle.
Like I'd like to see any one of us run 22 miles an hour.
He's like when the deer is first born and it gets up on its legs and it's like falling over itself.
And then they actually punched it into the end zone. So that like negates that negates anything bad about the play. Like if that stopped the drive and like they turned it over on downs right then, that would live on for a lot longer. But they punched it in like right after that.
Yeah, and then that's when the guy came on and he said, "And the Giants score, final score." 56-7.
No, we don't get blown out, man. You got the Jets. The Jets get blown out.
Dude, we play the Jets, and I'm so afraid to play them.
Why?
Because last year we played them, and they're like, "Oh, that's an easy win," and they fucking killed us. It was like 38-3. We just overlooked them so bad.
I think the Jets have mailed it in.
Oh yeah, and then now they're trading everybody away, and
they should have traded Sam Darnold. They would have got a first round for him at least.
The Jets have mailed it in. The Giants would be the team that everyone should be worried to play because they're actually playing hard. They're trying to learn how to win.
They've been to suck, but they just suck.
Dude, they've been in every game.
They were the other night. They impressed me against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but it's every game's been like that against everyone. So
have you noticed the magic? Look at he's got green behind him here, but over here, he's got this mystical Harry Potter field behind him over here.
Right. Yeah, you get the backstage feed. Look, he did it again. This fuck. We're gonna end the show.
I'm delayed. I'm hearing.
There we go. There we go. We got him back. Turn the volume off the other feed. Yeah.
No, I can't say something.
Go fuck yourself.
I got him. Why do we even need headsets? Can't we just hear it out the speakers and both just yap?
You could.
Look at I love the look of concern on our face on the delay over here. I'm watching it's a minute behind on the feed.
Right.
And just the look of concern, oh my God, the space shuttle blew up. How did that happen? What's that? I'll stay on this headset, man. Are you done?
Plus, we're gonna end the show. It's fucking 3 hours.
We've been talking for 6 days now.
Right.
This and in COVID time, this has been 2 weeks. I think I think Biden was declared president for his second term right now.
Right. What's going on with that? Is there a winner?
I don't know. Dude, look it up on your phone. My phone's dead, dude. Oh, your phone's the camera. Hold on. Ben's gonna look it up real quick. 264. He won Arizona and Nevada. Oh no, he hasn't won Nevada yet. It's still dark. So he's 6 points away, but he's winning Nevada,
which is 6 points.
Which will be the 6 points to push him over. And then it looks like it's literally going to be 270 to 269 when they're done.
Dude, insane. You know that's going to be. You know that he's not going away lightly, right?
Oh no. Dude,
this is going to be fought. He's taking this to court.
Yeah, I know the Proud Boys are already. They're already loading their weapons.
Right, lining it up.
Yeah,
get the militia out.
Yeah, exactly. They're just waiting at their basement doors. Does it say he's looking on one other thing right here, and it says, they're saying he will be the next president of the United States.
That's because that's what they want to say.
Yeah.
You go to another station, they're saying the other guy is going to be.
I want to find a station that says Kanye West is the president.
Right.
Could you imagine that disaster?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, Fuck out of here.
Turn up. I can't hear Loki now because I'm hearing that. So
worst producer ever.
Yeah, what's with this guy, man? Look, he's getting a close up right there. He's got some close. He just wants FaceTime. That's what it is. He just wants some FaceTime.
Yep.
So, well, man, this has been a blast, dude.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming on.
This has been great. I don't think anybody's still watching.
Yeah, the people.
I think Tony's watching, and that's it. What does he say here? Regardless of who wins, there's going to be some chaos.
Oh yeah.
Look at Ben flips the bird. I like it. Kanye West backed out early last night. Oh, did he really give a speech saying he didn't win?
Did he give a concession speech?
I hope so.
That's amazing.
I wouldn't have figured he was going to lose until he did.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. We don't have no porn stars that wanted to run this time. We got stuck with Kanye. Let's see. K West backed out early last night. That's what Dicko says.
Yeah.
And then, it is what it is. No Kanye, I'll be okay. I think our lives will go on.
Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna sign off here, but I'm gonna give you to Ben for a minute so you can say hi to him, and then we'll be good.
Right on. Well,
Dude,
thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope
I
anybody
appreciate you guys.
I hope anybody who listened actually cared.
And let's give this birthday fucking thing a go.
Well, yeah, come out.
Yeah.
Ben's 21 now. He can drink
Boom.
it up. Here he is. Hold on. He wants to come out for New Year's.
You want to come out for New Year's?
Hell yeah.
Do it. We'll have a
Birthday
party.
Birthday bash plus New Year's. Let's go.
Sounds good to me.
So listen. It's November. You have about a little over a month and a half to start practicing your NHL game.
Oh, dude.
Okay? And we'll
All right.
stick to NHL 20. I have NHL 20.
I have
You
20.
So let's just stick to the 20.
Okay.
Because I know 21's out. But no, we'll stick to 20. You practice your game, and we'll have an all-out battle, and we'll throw,
That's all you. We're talking here.
Yeah. we gotta throw something up as like a prize to the winner of our little tournament.
The winner of so he challenged me to NHL 20 on New Year's. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
That's what we're trying to figure out a prize now.
Is it drunk 20?
Listen, and that's part of it. That's part of it because not only am I experiencing and give ass whippings when I'm sober, but when I get drunk, I get good.
he said he's good. He's good sober, but when he gets drunk, that's when he starts kicking ass.
So and like little Benny may not have the experience here to fucking deal with that.
That's true.
There you go, Dicko North. One last shot. All right, everybody. It's been awesome. Thank you for joining us, Ben. Stay good.
Will
Carlos, peace out.
He said bye.